of Cathedral Prep, and the Timon Tigers will get this one out across the 30-yard line as we quickly get things underway, Steve.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Conway and O'Malley Goodyear, Humes, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep, Meadowbrook Dairy, Adelphia Cable, Adelphia Media Services, Cablevision, Career Concepts, Klecker Funeral Home, Pepsi, Jim Lockwood Dodge, the Erie Otters, the YMCA, and Sports Radio 1330, The Fan.
And we are underway as the Timon Tigers start off at their own 32-yard line, moving from left to right here in quarter number one, and getting the handoff on the first down. That's John Vogel, the back that head coach Paul Fitzpatrick talked about with Doug Davis in the pregame show, and he'll pick up a couple before he's ridden out of bounds.
We'll set up the Tigers offense for you. The quarterback is number 7, Andy Beal. Vogel is joined in the backfield along with Jeff Rullabate and 35, Kevin Cullen. Split end 84, Rayshawn Higgins. Tight end 80, Ryan Dunford. The tackles are 71, Ian Conrad, and 75, Don Labby. The guards, 51, Gary Coughlin, and 50, Fran Hurley. And Hurley is the best player on this team. And the center is 55, Bill Conroy.
And this time a flag has a little trouble with the snap and getting that play off cleanly.
And that gives us a chance to set up the Ramblers defense across the front. Defensive ends, 33, Tony Pohl, and 9, David Edwards. The tackles, 54, Corey Smith, 75, Dave Nesselhoff. The linebackers on the outside, number 1, Marcus Morgan, and number 49, Ryan Drabina. In the middle, 59, David Hauser. The corners, 44, John Hirsch, and 24, Donald Brown. The safeties, number 3, Tom Schumacher, and number 22, Aaron Baraducci.
Second down and 13. Bishop Timon out of Buffalo comes in at 2-1 on the season. The Ramblers 2-2 after their lopsided win over East last week. Here's Vogel on the second down carry. He'll basically get back those penalty yards, and so a pickup of about 5 on that one.
Marcus Morgan on the tackle that time, and you heard Mike Mishler also talk about some changes that they've made in their defensive philosophy, putting more people in the box as they see more and more teams that are going to be running the football. There is a premium in passers in high school football, I guess not just in Erie County, but all over the region.
And we'll see how Beal does here in the throwing situation on 3rd and about 8. Instead, they're going to run the draw play to Morgan, and he's not going to get much in there on the stop for the Ramblers. Again, Marcus Morgan, joined that time by Corey Smith.
Yeah, it's a good defensive series for Prep. Actually, the worst play was the kick return by Vogel. He picked up about 22 on that, but now deep for the Ramblers, 24, Don Brown, and 23 for Prep, and that's Adam Dolak.
So 3 and out for the Tigers as this kick, a low line drive, is going to bounce at about the 30-yard line, and a couple of players potentially going to get hit by that punt, but it will roll cleanly out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. 9:46 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
It's the 21st anniversary sale going on now at Conway and O'Malley Tire and Auto Service Centers. Save on brand name tires including Goodyear, Dunlop, Lee, and more. Plus, with the purchase of 4 selected Goodyear tires, you'll get a $50 U.S. savings bond. Choose from a wide selection of Goodyear Eagles, Wranglers, and Aquatreads. With 3 family-owned locations, come see the car care professionals today during the 21st anniversary sale at Conway and O'Malley Tire and Auto Service Centers. Plus, get your $50 savings bond in great Goodyear tires.
Barry Roach brings the Ramblers up to the line of scrimmage for their first possession, and on the first carry, that's Aaron Baraducci. Good yardage out to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, we mentioned that the Ramblers have so many running backs that we don't know exactly who we're going to see when and where. We'll see all of them. Baraducci starting at tailback. The fullback is Matt Staub. Quarterback Barry Roach. The wideouts, 8, Tom Dance, 18, Mike Barnes. The tight end, 34, Bob Reisenweber, will set the interior line for Prep after this second down and 1 play.
3 and out for Bishop Timon on their first possession, and it'll be Baraducci again, and he'll have the first down yardage out across the 40.
The tackle on the play made by 24, that's John Vogel. Across the front, left tackle 76, Jason Sonetta. The right tackle 79, Brian Bixby. The guard 71, Carl Yaney, and 73, Justin Sonetta, and the center 53, Dan Vitale.
So 1st and 10 for the Ramblers from their 42. A couple of wideouts to the right side for Roach. And this time getting the carry, Baraduci again, and he's going to break a couple of tackles and get a first down out across midfield.
And as Prep fans have become to expect, great lead block that time by 30, Matt Staub. Staub actually started getting significant playing time as a 10th grader and is one of the best blocking backs you're going to see in this area for a long time. He's really, really good as the lead back.
Yeah, to get 10th graders into a program that's consistently the quality of Cathedral Prep, that is something. So the Ramblers now moving into Tiger territory, 1st and 10 at their 48. Here's Baradusi, cuts it back across the 40 down to about the 35-yard line. Finally brought down by Ryan Brancato for the Tigers, but it'll be another first down.
The Tigers run a 4-4-3 defense. The defensive ends, 35 Kevin Cullen, 88 Eric Tebow. The tackles, 71 Ian Conrad, 75 Don Labby. The linebackers, Fran Herlihy, 50, John Vogel, 24, Brenton White, 4 and 51, Gary Coughlin, 84 and 23, Higgins and Ralabate. The corners, Ryan Brancato, 21 is the safety.
So 1st and 10, and running straight ahead. Nothing complicated here for the Ramblers. That's Baradusi with the carry, and he'll pick up about 3.
And what's interesting, Mark, we've seen 5 straight running plays by the Ramblers. The person next to last in the pile has been Aaron Baradusi. The last guy underneath has been Staub, the lead blocking back. We saw it right there.
So a good-looking drive here on the opening possession for Cathedral Prep. Inside the 35 of Bishop Timon now with a 2nd and 7. 7.5 to go here in the opening quarter. This time, Roach will give off to the back, caught from behind by the shirt tail. Good strong play right there defensively by Brancato as he got a hold of Baradusi's jersey and wouldn't let go.
Yeah, White was also in on that stop, and that was certainly a first down saving tackle because Baradusi had a great big hole over the left side of that line.
So a 3rd down situation here for Cathedral Prep, 3rd and 6. Ramblers will send Dance and Barnes wide to the far side. And Roach rolling out, looking to throw, and has a man wide open down inside the 20-yard line into the 15. As that was Barnes on the catch, and a nice 3rd down conversion and a really nice design rollout play right there, Steve.
Well, and a well-executed rollout, too. Barry Roach does a tremendous job. Look at that. His shoulders are square from about the 3rd step. Gets good velocity on that pass. By rolling out as deeply as he did, he could see the entire field. That's a really well-run play.
So 1st and 10 now from the Tigers' 15. And they'll put it back on the ground. Baradusi breaks a tackle inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. Now, Barry Roach, you take a look at his statistics, and he comes in with a quarterback rating of 44. That's a little bit deceptive.
It is deceptive, and as we mentioned, this team is a work in progress. His quarterback rating probably dipped below single digits, if that's possible, after the game against St. Ignatius. And you talk to everybody at Prep, and they just said that they played horribly. They thought that they had a real good chance against St. Ed's the following week, a game that they lost 28-7, but it was a lot closer than the score indicated.
And here goes Baradusi straight up the middle. This time he's met pretty quickly, but he's still going to get pretty close to that 1st down marker. We'll see where they put it down and whether or not he'll have enough to move the chains. And it looks like he's going to be about a foot short.
Yeah, that was 22 John Wagner who was in at a linebacker. Wagner's number has changed to one of the things that Coach Fitzpatrick has done seemingly week in and week out to maybe add a little bit of tomfoolery or Paul foolery in this case to his opponents as he changes uniform numbers, but they only have 28 kids, so you can only do so much.
And up the middle goes Baradusi, straight into the end zone it looks. Did he make it? No, they're going to say he's looks to be inches shy of the goal line. Thought he was in.
Yeah, watch the lead block. Just watch number 30. You'll see number 22 follow number 30 very quickly. It's amazing the job that Matt Staub does. And depending on the play that's called, I was talking with assistant coach Jim Skindell, depending on the play that's called, Staub keys on a member of the defense. And it's not necessarily just go through the hole and block anybody. Plays are designed to go specific places in this prep offense, and Staub's one of the keys to that.
And Baradusi, who's carried it pretty much the entire way downfield, will get to finish off this drive. Opening drive for Cathedral Prep leads them to the end zone.
Yeah, it's not a difficult one to call there when you've got first and goal, inches to go, and it's as simple a play as you could find. They go over the right side with Justin Sanita and Dan Vitale up front, and then following Staub. So Kyle Snoke in to attempt the point after.
And that one is up and through. So 4:24 to go here in the opening quarter. Ramblers on the board, up 7 on Bishop Timon.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho.
Dean's Milk Chug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
When you need expert legal advice, call attorney Robert Brabender. Let attorney Brabender serve you in the practice of criminal, personal injury, domestic, business, real estate, or estate law. For a no-obligation consultation, call the office of Robert Brabender today at 833-1400. That's 833-1400.
So a 72-yard drive for Cathedral Prep, and they're on top 7-0. And it was Baradusi who basically did the bulk of the workload there, and he got that opportunity to put it into the end zone. Last week, I believe they ran, about a half a dozen kids carrying the football, but it's pretty much all Baradusi that time around. We'll see what happens when Prep gets the football back. This time, though, it's going to be the Tigers of Bishop Timon as the kick is taken at about the 12-yard line, and managing to get it out to about the 25-yard line on the return for the Tigers. That was Ralabate.
A tackle made by Donald Brown. So Timon comes out with their second possession. You mentioned it was almost all Aaron Baradusi with the exception of the rollout pass to Barnes. It was all Aaron Baradusi, right, with some help from the big fellas up front. They did a nice job of blocking that entire touchdown drive.
See if Timon, who went 3 and out last time with a penalty thrown in there, could do any better on their second possession. Going to go to the air right off the bat, and that time they were looking for the Rayshawn Higgins, the man that Coach Fitzpatrick, young man Coach Fitzpatrick had talked so highly of on the pregame, but unable to make that connection.
Higgins really the only speed to the outside that the Tigers have. 5'11", 170 pounds. He's a senior, and last year he was the key to Timon's surprising 12-10 halftime lead. Caught a big touchdown pass in the first quarter, and then another long pass play to set up their second touchdown.
Now they have sophomore Bill Snyder in at quarterback, and he's going to dish it off to Vogel in the flat, and he's up across the 35-yard line, going to be very close to the first down yard marker, and looks like he might have a first down.
Yeah, nice play, well designed, well run. We'll take a look at it on the replay. The tackle for the it's a simple little, it's almost a screen. Vogel does a nice job of running with it when after he catches it. Tackle on the play by Markel Knight, 21 for the Ramblers, but not before Vogel gets enough for the first down.
Just under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Prep up 7-0. And again, they will go to the air. This time Beal throws it at the feet of his fullback, Kevin Cullen, incomplete.
Yeah, he threw it right at the feet of Cullen, and it bounced off of like the laces of his shoes and came up in the air. And big number 67, Jesse Belcastro for Prep, was giving chase, and if Jesse had maybe run towards the intended receiver with a little bit of a better angle, that ball would have come close, I think, to being intercepted. It bounced up in the air pretty well.
That would have been a first, a deflection off a shoe. I don't think I've ever seen that one. But second down now and 10 is, again, the Tigers look to go to the air, and Again, trying to go out to Higgins on the far side. Coverage, though, covered nicely by Donald Brown, 3rd and 10.
We talk about this being another stepping stone for the Ramblers, and one of the things that the Tigers bring is the ability and really the wish to throw the football down the field, whether it's Snyder or Beal. They want to get the ball into Rayshawn Higgins' hands. Prep is one of those teams that a lot of people think if you can pass against them, you can have some success. The Ramblers have tried and I think worked awfully hard on their pass defense. So this is another good test for them.
Now Snyder is faced with a 3rd and 10, has a little time. Now pockets collapsing. He's looking for Higgins' far side, and he goes up and gets it. Nice athletic play right there by Rayshawn Higgins. 5'11", but played a lot bigger than that on that occasion.
It looked like he and Donnie Brown were going for a rebound in basketball. We'll see it here on the Meadowbrook replay. Good pressure, but boy, Snyder does a nice job, puts some good air, and you can see there, it's almost like he's backing him down there. And Higgins with the nice catch didn't allow Brown to get into better position. And a big play for this Timon Tiger offense.
Down to the Ramblers' 35-yard line as we come up on 3 minutes to go.
30-yard pickup.
And this time they give it back to Vogel on the ground. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle before Brown brings him down, and almost another first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Jeff Ralabate is the guy who's gained more yardage than anyone on the ground, but Vogel's really the running back that Timon relies on to get tough yards, and boy, we saw it there. Breaking 2 pretty good hits.
And just short of a first down. And this actually, if you're an adventurous coach, can present you with a lot of interesting opportunities on a 2nd and very short. But they'll keep it on the ground, going to play it safe, and bouncing off the initial stack up at the line and maybe losing some yardage. There's Kevin Cullen. We'll see if his forward progress nets him the first down.
Well, I think this is one of those cases where you hate the forward progress rule, because he did get the first down, but he bounced it out to the outside, right, and wanted to keep going. It wasn't a question of the defense automatically just pushing him back. So you like the effort by Cullen, and I guess if you're a Timon fan, you're glad for the first down, but that's a case where he was trying to get more. I'd mark him back at about the 32.
And on the draw, Vogel is met and dropped pretty quickly right there by Marcus Morgan. Nice defensive play. Will leave him with a 2nd and 10.
Isn't it funny how the team from Cathedral Prep seems to always have very hard-hitting linebackers, and it goes back to even when you were a kid, Mark. So
well, that's a long time ago.
It is, but Marcus Morgan has continued that tradition. He really is one of those, has a nose for the ball type of guys. 5'9", 201, a senior, and pretty much the leader of the defense.
2nd and 10. Pump fake right there, and going for the end zone. Incomplete as Donnie Brown and Rayshawn Higgins were battling again, and that's one we'll look forward to seeing through the rest of the evening. Those two talented athletes battling it out.
Yeah, and I think Prep might have gotten away with one this time, Mark, because there's no recognition, no looking, just a barely looking back for the football. That could have gone either way when you take a look at the replay.
And Brown struggling right there. He was stumbling a little bit, so fortunate for the Ramblers that one fell incomplete. 3rd and 10 now for Bishop Timon. They've driven down inside the Prep 25-yard line, and out of the shotgun before the snap, we have a whistle and figures to push the Tigers back 5.
Yep, tight end jumped just before the snap.
Well, actually, they're going to say the Ramblers were offsides.
Oh, my. Well, they must have lined up offsides then, because I saw number 80 hop across the line of scrimmage.
I think there's some signals from the Ramblers coaching staff that they were looking for that call as well. So 3rd and 5 now, just inside the 20 for Timon.
The only reason that I thought that it was going to be procedure was that they stopped the play.
Right.
Normally, if you're offsides, you get a free down. And Dunford, the tight end who jumped, he was wide open.
Again, out of the shotgun, pressured, he gets it off, and nice catch out of the backfield, and very close to a first down right there for Ralabate. And Boy, that was a play that looked like it was going to be a sack, and they ended up making something out of it.
Yeah, if there was a highlight show every night locally, this one would make it. Good pressure by Morgan, bobbling catch by Ralabate, but then does a nice job after he corrals it of getting his feet underneath him, making a nice cut back to the inside and enough for the first down, and it's 1st and 10 from the 13.
And on the ground, it will be the fullback, Kevin Cullen, but not much there for him as that defensive front for the Ramblers stood him up.
The front stood him up. Baradusi brought him down. It's a nice tackle by Aaron Baradusi from his safety position.
2nd and, we'll call it 7 yards to go here. Is Timon looking to even things up as we're inside a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Prep up 7-0. Snyder this time will pitch to Vogel, and he's not going to get anywhere. Actually, he's going to lose a couple of yards on that one. Leading the way for the Ramblers defensively on that one, Tony Pohl.
You have to try and run it outside, but it's never a good idea against a Cathedral Prep defense. Over the last 5 years, they may have been the quickest defense to the ball in high school that we've seen in an awful long time around this area. They just really run hard to the football.
And we're winding it down. This will be the final play of quarter number 1. Bishop Timon trailing Cathedral Prep 7-0, but faced with a 3rd down deep in Rambler territory when we come back on the Image Sports Network.
When you're looking for a retirement center that specializes in comfort and personal care, look to the Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center.
We have a great number of private rooms that are just beautiful here.
Sarah Reed has exceptional retirement living, personal care, and nursing home care programs.
There's no place else I would rather be.
Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center. Our family caring for your family since 1871.
Join the YMCA today and save 50% off the joiner fee.
When you need fast, reliable service for your car's radiator, come to Swedes Auto Radiator. Swedes can also service your car's air conditioning and fuel system, and they're conveniently located at 2906 French Street in Erie. Call Swedes today, 459-0640. That's 459-0640. Let Swedes Auto Radiator provide you with fast, dependable service for your car.
Well, the breaking quarters may have actually given Bishop Timon almost sort of a timeout and a chance to come up with a play here on a big 3rd down early on in this one. They're trailing at 7-0, and they're going to go to the air, and chased and dropped is the Timon quarterback. Great defensive work right there by the Ramblers, and that was on the sack, David Edwards from his defensive end position.
Yeah, we're going to see Edwards do a nice job on this play, but what you don't see is tremendous coverage downfield by the Ramblers. Higgins didn't have a prayer. The tight end Dunford was trying to settle down in the middle, and he was well covered also. And now we'll see a field goal attempt of 25 yards. This is Ryan Brancato with Brenton White as the holder.
And actually be 35, tack on the 10, and that one is blocked and is picked up by Timon, but that's going to be it. Not sure who got a hand in there. We might be able to see it on the replay, but right up the middle, big surge and the hand on that kick.
And I think, and we're not going to see it, but I think it was 33, Tony Pohl, who made that deflection. So the Ramblers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30. You know, by word of mouth, we've all heard one of the best forms of advertising. Advice from friends and neighbors on who to see when you're looking for a new air conditioner or furnace seems to be more reliable than a company telling you that they're the best. One customer of Keep Heating and Cooling put it this way: the Keep salesman clearly explained the Rheem features, gave me a competitive bid, and closed the deal. Keep Heating and Cooling featuring Rheem air conditioning and natural gas furnaces. Remember, natural gas, your most reliable choice.
Second possession for the Ramblers, and quickly going to the air on first down, and oh, almost a beautiful pass. It was a great pass, actually, but an even better defensive play right there from Bishop Timon, coming across and knocking that ball out of there as it was intended for number 18, Michael Barnes, and the pass really was right there, and a great defensive play.
Good protection, nice play fake by Roach. They did everything right. They just didn't account for 23, Jeff Ralabate, who made a stupendous play in the defensive backfield. If not, Barnes is down at about the 20.
So second down and 10 after that deflection. And here goes Roach trying to roll out again, this time under a little bit of pressure and firing it down at about the 17-yard line, or rather intended for number 17 out at about the 40-yard line, but we have a flag in the backfield. We'll check that.
That's going to be holding against Prep.
Good penetration right there defensively by Bishop Timon as they were in on Roach pretty quickly.
Yeah, Roach looked more like a shortstop trying to make the throw from the hole. A little sidearm action there because of the good defensive pressure put on by Conrad and Herlihy. As we mentioned, 50 Fran Herlihy starts at guard and at linebacker, and everyone that I talked to, from head coach Fitzpatrick to Tom Sullivan, the athletic director, to the bus driver, said, if you want to watch a kid for our team, watch number 50. He is a hellion on defense.
Now this is going to put the Ramblers back in a serious hole because the hold was behind the line of scrimmage. So, wow, you're looking at it's going to be a second down and about 29. Wow.
You know what, Mark? Though I think that this doesn't hurt a team like Prep as badly as 3rd and 10 would have from the 30. 3rd and 10 is a difficult one for them. They can run just about anything here, and here they've got trips to the right.
And Roach gets it to Durr and looking for some running room. Takes it across the field, still on his feet, but finally going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And Brenton White was one of the guys who was really chasing him down across the field. And that play started out on the near side and wound up on the far side.
Brenton White, you'll see him come into the play towards the end. Pass a little bit behind Durr. He tries to cut across the field. Looks like there's some room there. And watch a little buzzsaw number 4. He's 5'5", 140, and that defensive play was all Brenton White.
So now it's 3rd and 33.
Okay,
Ramblers moving in the wrong direction.
2nd and 29 was easy. 3rd and 33, I'm not sure you got to play in your playbook for.
And they have to be careful here deep in their own territory to protect it from a turnover. They're just going to run it on the draw play. And taking that one up the middle for the Ramblers, I believe that was John Hirsch on the carry, who's back after an appendectomy, which is never an easy thing to go through. He's sat out the last 3 weeks.
And having Hirsch back and getting him some playing time in a game that you're up 7-0 with 9.5 to play in the first half, going to be important. John Hirsch, certainly the fastest of the Prep backs. He is a District 10 champion in a lot of sprints, and he brings some speed to an otherwise not so speedy squad.
Vogel takes the kick at the 45. The Timon 45 takes it to the Ramblers 45. 9:15 to go, second quarter. Prep up 7.
At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. From the moment Dave Raz meets you with your personal estimate, thanks Dave, to the professional repair work with genuine factory parts, to the final okay that your car is ready to go home. At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. See Dave Raz at Raz Auto Body, 2516 Pittsburgh Avenue, the people's choice in collision repair.
First down carry, and that's Vogel. He'll pick up about 6 before that was Markel Knight who brought him down for the Ramblers.
Yeah, David Hauser in on the tackle, too, from his linebacker position. This is a Timon team that's done a nice job of moving the football, Mark.
Yeah, got down into deep into Prep territory, but drive stalled and the field goal attempt blocked, but they've been mixing things up pretty nicely, and that time they're going to give it to the fullback straight ahead, and Cullen will, I believe, get first down yardage.
Morgan on the tackle, but that fooled everybody. Cullen was inside the 37-yard line before I think anyone from Prep realized he even had the football.
Well, Coach Fitzpatrick for Bishop Timon said, we're going to have to play a perfect game. And I don't know if you could call that blocked field goal a mistake. It certainly didn't hurt them, but so far, so good as far as Timon goes. They trail it by just 7, and now moving the football into Prep territory. Different back getting the carry. This time that's number 23, Ralabate, as we've seen Vogel handling the majority of the duties, running the football. He'll pick up about 2.
Corey Smith didn't make the tackle, but caused that play to break down. Great penetration from his defensive tackle position and caused Ralabate to carry it a lot deeper before he made his cut up inside, allowed Morgan and and David Hauser to flow to the football.
2nd and 8. And here's Ralabate on the pitch, and he's going to get inside the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the stop for the Ramblers, Donald Brown.
Brings up another interesting 3rd down call, and interesting in that I think the onus now, Mark, is on Prep, because Timon has, I'm guessing, run most of their offense already. They've run sweeps, they've run inside, they've run off tackle, long passes, short passes. Prep's got to wonder what's going on here, what they're going to do. They send 2 wide receivers out to the left side.
That's Brancato and Higgins. Instead, they'll go with the pitch to Ralabate, and hard running straight forward is going to leave him very close to that first down marker.
Let's see, everybody that we talked to said watch number 50. He's a hellion on defense. Well, he just put on a hellacious block that time offensively to spring Ralabate.
They're going to measure here for the first down.
As they bring the chains out, this reminder that Cathedral Prep's open house will be held Sunday, November 17th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at the school. All 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students from the Erie area are invited to come and see the school, meet with teachers and coaches, and see why Prep is the leading collegiate prep school in the entire area. Make plans now to attend Prep's open house on Sunday, November 17th. For more information, contact the Prep Marketing Department, 453-PREP.
And good camera work. You see there the first down by about half the football, maybe 2/3 of the football. So another set of downs for the Tigers here as they continue to move it downfield. We're under 7 minutes to go here in the first half. And so far, like in the past couple of meetings, Bishop Timon hanging in with the Ramblers here in half number 1. Running the draw play, Ralabate is going to lose about a yard. And on the stop for the Ramblers, Marcus Morgan along with Tony Pohl.
Yeah, Pohl did a nice job that time because he's playing defensive end. He's got to come from the outside into the inside, and he recognized that Morgan was already there, so they'll each get half credit for that tackle. But still a different type of draw play, right. kind of a fake rollout.
So Ralabate will head to the bench. And Vogel back in there at the tailback position. It's the sophomore Snyder at quarterback looking to throw and looking for Morgan out of the backfield, but the pass a little bit low. It'll be 3rd and 11 now.
Mark, on the last 2 plays, a loss of 1 and an incomplete pass, but good plays for Bishop Timon. On the loss of 1, it looked like it was going to be a fake rollout or maybe even an option by the quarterback. They give it off on the draw play. So that puts that in Prep's mind. That time, the sophomore quarterback Snyder got bottled up a little bit, saw a lane where nobody was going to be able to catch the football and threw it in there. That's discretion being the better part of valor.
Bishop Timon calls for a timeout. 5:57 to go first half. Ramblers up 7.
Hello, I'm Francis V. Klecker. From its humble beginnings in the basement of St. Peter's Cathedral in 1921, Cathedral Prep began as a 4-room school with just 100 students. Today, Cathedral Prep is a modern facility that is well known for its academic as well as its athletic excellence. All of us at the Klecker Funeral Home are proud of our long-standing relationship with Cathedral Prep.
This is the first of a triple header this week on the Image Sports Network. We're glad that you joined us tonight for our first look at Cathedral Prep. Tomorrow night, back to Erie County League action as the Girard Yellow Jackets, one of the hotter teams and I think the toughest defensive team in the Erie County League, hosts the Corey Beavers. 7:30 the kickoff there, and then Saturday afternoon we're up at Tulio Field for our first look at Marty Schetzel's Mercyhurst Lakers as they entertain the Northwood Timberwolves.
3rd down and 11, and they'll set it up on the screen. Vogel's got a lot of running room on the far side of the field. Inside the 10, he'll take it into the end zone.
Wow, what a well-designed play.
Steve, you talked about them, setting things up. Not sure if that was, the game plan to come up with 3rd and 11, but certainly that play left Cathedral Prep, looking for an answer.
Well, and it was one of those, no pun intended, luck of the Irish, as you see Timon in their green and gold uniforms, but the perfect call for the perfect defense. Prep was bringing the entire house. They brought 8 people, a great screen set up. All Vogel had to do to catch it. You mentioned lots of room out in the flat. He ran 15 yards before anyone touched him, and he started at the 20, which meant he was already inside the 5.
And extra point try is going to be blocked.
The block was made by 59, David Hauser, so 5:47 to play first half on the Conway O'Malley scoreboard. Cathedral Prep 7, Bishop Timon 6 here on the Image Sports Network. Stay with us.
Come into Lockwood Auto Group today and see the 2003 Dodge selection, including the #1 selling Dodge Caravan and the newly designed Dodge Neon. New models are arriving daily, so we're clearing out the remainder of our 2002 inventory with deals like this. At Lockwood Auto Group, your credit problems don't have to keep you from getting into the car you want. Our credit specialist can have you driving away in a new or late model used vehicle. Your next vehicle is waiting for you here at Lockwood Auto Group, Route 20 in Girard.
And welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Mark Saudet along with Steve Bowen, Doug Davis, and Brooke Busink, the entire Image Sports crew. And as Steve mentioned, this is the first of 3 games this weekend. Nice drive right there by Bishop Timon. A little bit disappointing, I'm sure, for the Tigers to not pick up that extra point.
Yeah, I think so, but you could hear in Paul Fitzpatrick's voice when we heard him talk before the game that this is a game that if they can stay close, they think that they have a chance. And again, Mark, we've seen a pretty diverse offense from Timon. I think he may be right.
And now Timon is going to have to give it back to the Ramblers with 5:47 to go here in the first half, and that one is quickly taken by one of the upbacks. That was actually a nice grab right there by Adam Johnson to get a hold of that one and put the Ramblers in decent field position, about the 38.
Actually, I think that was 29, Dave Nachinsky. Yep, it was number 29.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've got the wrong roster.
That's all right.
That's horrible.
That's okay. I just had to stick up for one of the neighborhood fellas.
I can appreciate that. That was a heads-up play, too, because once that ball hits the turf and starts bouncing, you can have trouble.
Yeah. Good hands shown by Nachinsky, and he is, he's one of the backups on defense. Hard-nosed kid.
And first down carry and picking up some decent yardage and basically going all the way. It's Jennings. Or excuse me, that's number 28, Tyrone Buckner.
Yep, it
all
is.
the way, and Buckner, I don't even think he was touched, Steve.
I don't believe so. We'll take a look from soup to nuts. Follow stop, and then a big
touched.
block.
All right, that's about it.
Big block by his tackle, Brian Bixby. Once he cut it to the outside off of Bixby's block, it really was just a question of where to turn it up. Yeah. He turned it up just as he got to the sideline and then turned on the speed. 63 yards, I'm sorry, by Tyrone Buckner, just a junior.
And as quickly as or I should say, just as Timon feels, they're right back in this ball game, just that quickly, Prep takes it back out to a 7-point advantage. Now some trouble with the snap on the extra point, and that one's going to fail as it was just a tough play right there as the snap was mishandled and the point after try fails. So 5:29 to go here in the first half. Prep back on the scoreboard, leading 13-6.
The real world can be complicated, fast-paced, and full of obstacles. How do you see your life coming together? Success requires direction and goals. A promising career is a necessary step to reach the highest plane. And to help guide you there is CamTech. With certificates and associate degrees in various technologies, CamTech will help piece together your career. CamTech, charting your course to tomorrow's technology.
Hey Steve, we talked about Prep bringing in a lot of backs that time. How about making an impact on your first time carrying the football?
Yeah, and we said in the open that normally we've seen Prep reload in terms of running backs. They went from Bob Sanders to Javon Walker, and now you see Donnie Brown and Aaron Baradusi and John Hirsch and Tyrone Buckner, and they've all carried the ball with the exception of Hirsch. They've all carried it this season a few times. So there's really no drop-off, a little bit of difference in all the backs, but one thing that they can all do is run down the field quite quickly.
So Timon now will have to try and answer, and that's Vogel taking it inside his 20 and up to about the 25-yard line.
Again, we talk about players who don't make tackles but cause tackles to be made. On that play, it was 26 for the Ramblers. That's Matt Ron. He's a 5'9" junior. And Ron did a great job just barreling through the Timon defense, and he caused the Timon runner to really have to go wide outside and into the teeth of the Prep coverage.
So Timon now starts off at about their own 27-yard line, and they're going to go straight to the air looking for Higgins' far side, and he gave a little bit of a shove to the defender out that way, Markel Knight, but no flag.
I believe he gave a lot of a shove to Markel Knight.
Markel kind of just said, what was that? But I guess once it's incomplete, you don't worry about it so much.
But Mark, the ball was still in the air. Now, if the defensive player does that to the offensive player, they're not going to call pass interference, but they're going to call illegal use of the hands, and it just is amazing to me why the reverse isn't also true, even though the ball can't be caught.
Second down and 10 as Timon brings two wideouts near side. And again, they look to go to the air, and big hit right there from, that was Tom Schumacher, who came up and put a lick on the intended receiver for Bishop Timon. We'll see it again here on the replay. And that was a tight one to try and get in there, but
well-designed play.
Dunford, who got his hands on it, but credit Schumacher with breaking it up.
Well, Schumacher whacked him really good. I know grammatically really well is the way to put it, but he whacked him really good.
Yes.
But again, Mark, that's a different play than we've seen so far from Timon, so they're expanding what they're showing Prep, and that means that Prep has to defend more defensively. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
And that one goes right into the arms of Markel Knight.
So on the turnover, it will be Prep's ball. We'll take a look on the Meadowbrook replay. Never had it.
No. And Markel's right on the spot as that one came to him. Nice delivery right into his belly for the Prep possession and the 32-yard line of Bishop Timon.
Let's see who's at tailback now for the Ramblers.
And in there right now, that's
actually. They don't.
Well, Matt Staub is in there as the lone back, and now he slides out in motion and going to the air and looking to the end zone intended for Barnes. A little bit too long right there from Barry Roach. Good coverage down that way as well.
But a nice play and well blocked, and Roach has shown the ability to do a nice job of running across across the line of scrimmage, and I mean laterally across the line of scrimmage, but still keeping his arms or his shoulders square. He got good arm on that ball.
Second down and 10. Now it's dance wide to the far side with Barnes split out near side. And this time it's going to be Buckner again, and Buckner will break a couple of tackles down to the 20 or close to the 20-yard line. Came in as the leading rusher for the Ramblers with 226 yards prior to that long touchdown run. And, you take a look at the rushing stats for Cathedral Prep. It looks like their entire roster has run the ball at least once.
2 carries, 74 yards. That's not a bad average. I'd give it to him again.
Yeah. And he did get the first down at the 21-yard line of Bishop Timon. 4.5 minutes to go here, second quarter.
We talked about Prep evolving it into the team that they probably want to be, in a couple of weeks. Getting John Hirsch back, I don't know how much we'll see him tonight, but he brings another dimension to that backfield.
And Buckner running hard inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line.
There aren't a whole lot of other ways to describe Tyrone Buckner, but wow.
Now let's see it again as he just finds that hole and blows right through it. Again, just tremendous work by the front of Cathedral Prep offensively.
And the line is doing what they've always done, and that's being more subtle than pushing people around, and they rely a lot on that lead back. It was Eric Field in the championship season. This year it's Matt Staub.
That time Buckner met and dropped, and it's going to be the two guys we see out of the backfield offensively, Cullen and Vogel, on the tackle.
Yeah, real good play that time by Cullen. He just shot the gap. They ran a little stunt. He, from his defensive end, came around and was right in the hole. I don't mean to say that the Ramblers linemen aren't tough blockers, but they're not straightforward blockers. They're going to subtly move people around and give their backs quick holes to get to, because that's really been the signature of Prep tailbacks is their quickness to the hole.
Yeah, take advantage of it. That's the way it's set up. And now it's a second down. They're going to look to the air, and that one for Barnes, a little bit too tall, even for the 6'1", or rather 6'2" senior flanker.
Nice idea. I mean, you like going against form, and certainly if you're Bishop Timon, you've got to know that Prep's form, when they've got second and goal from the 6, is to pound it down your throats.
Justin Moyer in as a wideout to the far side of the field with Buckner and Staub in the backfield. This time, play fake, and Roach is going to roll out to the far side of the field, tries to keep it himself, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 3.
Yeah, that was 84 Higgins who knocked him out. If Roach cuts that up inside, Mark, maybe he gets the score. Looks like he tried to go outside and just catch the corner. And Snoke will come in to attempt the field goal. It'll be about a 20-yard field goal attempt.
So Bishop Timon able to keep the Ramblers out of the end zone.
Kirk Reynolds is the holder.
This one from the far hash mark. It is a low kick, and it hits the crossbar and comes back out, so no good. 3:03 to go here in the first half. The score remains Prep 13, Timon 6.
For decades now, the unsung hero of the automotive sales pitch. Yet, in its anonymity, this unassuming warrior provides years of hassle-free operation, unselfishly accommodating untold loads of groceries, luggage, sporting goods, and the occasional snowblower. Cunningham Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Edinburgh and Northeast. Yeah, we've got trunks.
Tigers dodge a bullet there, and they'll start at their own 20-yard line. Still some time to work with here in the first half, 3:03. Pitch comes to Ralabate, and he's going to take it out to about the 28-yard line. Excuse me, that was Vogel on the carry for the Tigers, and pickup of 7 or 8 maybe.
David Edwards with the tackle, number 9 for the Ramblers. That last play call, Mark, that's one of those coach's decisions that I'm sure if you flipped the coin 50 times, you'd come up with 25 different answers, and you wouldn't be satisfied with any of them. They need to work on the kicking game, so you like that, but you also think if they can push it down their throat, that's a real backbreaker for an outmanned Timon team.
And that time, trying to give the ball to the fullback Cullen, and Kevin Cullen maybe got a yard. He's going to leave him with about 3rd and 2, maybe a long 1.
Edwards and Belcastro in on that tackle. We've talked a lot about David Edwards, 6'1", 195. Jesse Belcastro, 5'10", 240.
And here's Cullen around the far side. He's going to have the first down and more out across the 40-yard line before Markel Knight brings him down.
That's an outstanding play. It's a great call when everybody thinks you're going to just shove it up the middle. Quick hitter Cullen does a nice job. That's designed to go outside, and Prep just wasn't expecting it. That's a good football call.
Play calling for Timon has really been outstanding here in the first half, despite the fact they're down 13-6. They've been able to move the ball on the Ramblers. This time, some time to throw, and the pass on the near side intended for Ryan Brancato, incomplete. Back that way on the coverage for the Ramblers was Donnie Brown and Aaron Baraducci.
And we saw another situation where, yes, the pass wasn't able to be caught, but still, if the ball's in the air, you can't make contact with, if you're the offensive receiver, you can't make contact with the defensive back. They're just letting that go, and that's the second time that it's happened, and if you're Prep, you're scratching your head.
Second down and 10 now for the Rambler, or for the Tigers, excuse me, with 1:35 to go here till halftime. Snyder drops straight back, deep drop this time, trying to set up the screen, and a nice defensive play to stop what looked to be a pretty nicely set up play. That was David Edwards.
How well did he play that?
Yeah, I mean,
holy cow.
Everything looked to be set up nicely for that center screen.
You see him right there, and he just stops. That's just a tremendous play by David Edwards.
So 3rd and 9. If Edwards doesn't catch on to that play and make that tackle, it was set up.
Well, Hauser had to fight off a blocker. Dunford had a blocker in front of him, and the blocker was on Hauser.
And again, looking to go to the air. This time, Higgins has the catch, but he's going to be short of the first down. They're going to mark him just inside Ramblers territory.
Oh, and that's a horrible spot.
Looked like he was very close to the sticks when he caught it.
That's a horrible spot. Oh, my goodness. And Paul Fitzpatrick is letting them know all about it. 47 seconds left. It's 4th down, and Timon's calling a timeout to talk it over. We see on the Conway and O'Malley scoreboard, it's Cathedral Prep 13, Bishop Timon 6. Back with more on Erie's leader in live local sports, the Image Sports Network.
Businesses throughout the tri-state area are taking advantage of the multi-skilled, thoroughly trained workforce available to them from Career Concept Staffing Headquarters. Every industry, from labor-intensive to highly technical, should explore the bottom line benefits they can derive from a partnership with Career Concepts. Call any of our 4 locations to find out how you too can enjoy a competitive edge in today's ever-changing marketplace.
Just a reminder, Cathedral Prep will hold their open house Sunday, November 17th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 453-PREP or log on to their website at www.cathedral-prep.com.
Well, Higgins, I think he had the first down regardless of the spot, but that spot left him about 3 yards short. And
yeah.
The Tigers will just kick it away here as we count it down towards halftime, and that kick by Vogel short, but it takes a Tiger bounce and it hits a Rambler player. Now it's loose on the field. Scramble for the football, and it goes out of bounds. Big break for the Ramblers right there. Because with 36 seconds now, they had a chance.
And as we take a look across the way, there is Carpet Craftsman. Or maybe not. We don't have the shot yet, but anyway, there we go. There's Carpet Craftsman. I've been told if you want quality work, that's the place to go. Carpet Craftsman is owned and operated by professional installers, so they really know the business inside and out. Go see John Hall and Dave Zielinski and feel comfortable about who you're dealing with. That's Carpet Craftsman at 27th and French, right next to Vet Stadium. See?
Well, 36 seconds. The Ramblers will send trips to the near side and see what Roach can come up with as he rolls out and throws downfield right through Barnes' hands at about the 35-yard line, and that one almost went into the hands of Tom Dance.
There were about 8 things that could have happened. Woody Hayes used to say 3 things can happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them are bad. We almost saw 2 of them. A near sack, Roach was so close to the line of scrimmage when he threw it. Actually, 3 bad things happened. Well, one good thing almost did. Went through Barnes' hands and almost into the hands of Dance, and it would have been 19-6 with a kick upcoming had Dance caught it.
So the Ramblers will, looks like, give it another shot at breaking off a big play here with 28 ticks on the first half clock. This time Roach well protected, looking for Dance downfield, and that one is picked off.
Brancato.
Yeah, who makes that interception, and 20 seconds left now for Bishop Timon. We'll see if the Tigers want to try to heave it downfield.
You know, by word of mouth, we've all heard it's one of the best forms of advertising. Advice from friends and neighbors on who to see when you're looking for a new air conditioner or furnace seems to be more reliable than a company saying they're the best. One customer of Keep Heating and Cooling put it this way: the Keep salesman clearly explained the Rheem's features, gave me a competitive bid, and closed the deal. They got next-day installation by 2 competent uniformed Keep technicians. Keep Heating and Cooling featuring Rheem air conditioning and natural gas furnaces. Remember, natural gas, your most energy-efficient source.
Now they'll go out of the shotgun and in at quarterback. That's Andy Beal back in there, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Sack right there will be credited to Corey Smith.
And that's also, we'll see on the replay, that's the last play of the first half, but good coverage down the field. No place for Beal to go except for into the hands of Corey Smith. So kind of a half mark of what could have been.
Yeah.
On both sides. If you look at Prep, on a couple of occasions, I think stopped themselves. I don't want to say they went so far as shooting themselves in the foot, but you know, there were a couple of occasions where you thought, well, you know, they're going to go for it big time here, and they held back a little bit. And then there were a couple of occasions where Timon was absolutely knocking on the door. They get a field goal blocked inside the Prep 10. And also, you know, I thought they were moving the ball pretty well again on that last drive before they had to punt.
Yeah, both teams have a couple of woulda, shouldas to talk about at halftime. The Ramblers up 7 at the break, and we have a lot of halftime activities for you, and that's going to be coming your way after we take a short time out here on the Image Sports Network.
In an age of cell phones, the internet, and electronic mail, there is still one universal means of communicating with the masses. A quick flick of a lever lets the world know without question, this is the path you are taking. A simple yet unmistakable sign that says, "Hey, mister, I'm turning left." Cunningham Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Edinburgh and Northeast. Yep. Turn signals.
Purdy leading the rush, cross ice pass to Courtney. Here's Courtney, his shot, score! The Erie Otters are the 2002 OHL champions!
When you're looking for a retirement center that specializes in comfort and personal care, look to the Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center.
We have a great number of private rooms that are just beautiful here.
Sarah Reed has exceptional retirement living, personal care, and nursing home care programs.
There's no place else I would rather be.
Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center. Our family caring for your family since 1871.
The real world can be complicated, fast-paced, and full of obstacles. How do you see your life coming together? Success requires direction and goals. A promising career is a necessary step to reach the highest plane. And to help guide you there is CamTech. With certificates and associate degrees in various technologies, CamTech will help piece together your career. CamTech, charting your course to tomorrow's technology.
The 03s are here and more are arriving by the hour here at Hume's Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Dodge Truck in Waterford. And we've got some real exciting new vehicles here at Hume's, like the Jeep Liberty, Grand Cherokee, and Wrangler, the restyled and refined 03 Chrysler Voyager, Town & Country, and Dodge Caravan, plus the all-new Ram 2500 and 3500 trucks with a new 345-horse 5.7-liter Hemi, plus many, many more. Whatever you want, we'll be sure to have here at Hume's. Come see us today. We're only 9 miles south of the Mill Creek Mall on Peach Street in Waterford.
Another exciting football game down at the Erie Vet Stadium. At halftime, 13-6, Cathedral Prep, and with me the athletic director, Bill Flanagan. And Bill, welcome back to the Image Sports Network.
Good to be here, Doug. Thanks for coming tonight.
Let me ask you first off your observations and comments on the first half.
Well, per usual, every time we play Bishop Timon, be it here in Buffalo, it's a great first half. It's a competitive ball game. They always come to play, and you watch them walk in the stadium tonight. They're not big in numbers. They're not big in size. It's a cliche to say they're big in heart, but they are. They hit you. They keep coming at you, and it's indicative by the score tonight, only a 7-point difference right now.
Should be an exciting second half.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Hopefully we can make some adjustments here at the half. I'm sure we will, and we'll come back and get some more points on the board because we're going to need them.
Let's talk about excitement. I know you're happy with the other sports programs going on at Cathedral Prep. I know the soccer team had a great win the other night against McDowell.
It really did, Doug. 3-2 is an exciting game, and obviously this year the Bullseye is kind of on their proverbial back. They're the defending state champions in AAA. We're 8-2-2, and I think they're kind of finding out right now. Last year they somewhat breezed through the regular season. This year it's been a little bit more of a test. I think they understand that teams are gunning for them a little bit more, but for the most part they've answered the call, and for anyone interested, we play a nationally ranked opponent on Saturday up at Family First in St. Ignatius at 3 o'clock, so it should be another good stern test for us.
You talk about St. Ignatius. I know you had an ambitious football program this year. You scheduled 2 of those Ohio teams from Cleveland. I think it's a mark to your success as athletic director, but also the pride of Cathedral Prep wanting to play the better ball clubs.
Either the mark of success or insanity, depending on how you look at it. It was 2 stern tests for us, obviously. We didn't play well at all against Ignatius, played a lot better the next week against St. Ed's, and I really thought we deserved somewhat of a better fate than a 10-point spread and maybe a possible win. But I think clearly playing those kind of teams in early September is only going to pay dividends for us in early November.
2 quick questions, 10 seconds. How about the basketball and hockey program? And I know you're looking forward to the Penn State-Iowa game.
Absolutely. Basketball, we're hoping to defend the Metro Crown. Hockey, again, a young team. We think they're going to be very competitive. And Penn State-Iowa, when you have that many kids on the field from Cathedral Prep in the Erie area, can't wait to watch it Saturday.
Bill Flanagan, thank you, and continued success with Prep.
Thank you, and appreciate Image being here tonight.
That's it from here, and we'll have more right after this on the Image Sports Network.
Businesses throughout the tri-state area are taking advantage of the multi-skilled, thoroughly trained workforce available to them from Career Concept Staffing Headquarters. Every industry, from labor-intensive to highly technical, should explore the bottom-line benefits they can derive from a partnership with Career Concepts. Call any of our 4 locations to find out how you, too, can enjoy a competitive edge in today's ever-changing marketplace.
Hello, I'm Francis V. Klecker. From its humble beginnings in the basement of St. Peter's Cathedral in 1921, Cathedral Prep began as a 4-room school with just 100 students. Today, Cathedral Prep is a modern facility that is well known for its academic as well as its athletic excellence. All of us at the Klecker Funeral Home are proud of our long-standing relationship with Cathedral Prep.
It's what's inside that counts. Inside the jelly jar, that is. Inside the jelly jar is more than just a toy store. It's a collection of the very best games, toys, books, and more, geared to foster a child's creativity and imagination. Great toys like Thomas the Tank Engine, Playmobil, and K'NEX. Collectible dolls by Susan Joaquin, Gotts, and Pauline. And of course, dolls for playtime, such as Madeline. Inside the jelly jar, fun and games, and so much more.
Come into Lockwood Auto Group today and see the 2003 Dodge selection, including the #1 selling Dodge Caravan and the newly designed Dodge Neon. New models are arriving daily, so we're clearing out the remainder of our 2002 inventory with deals like this. At Lockwood Auto Group, your credit problems don't have to keep you from getting into the car you want. Our credit specialist can have you driving away in a new or late model used vehicle. Your next vehicle is waiting for you here at Lockwood Auto Group, Route 20 in Girard.
I chose to attend prep because it offers opportunities in athletics, academics, and extracurricular activities that can be found nowhere else in the area.
The teachers help you set your goals and achieve them. My teachers have always been there for me whenever I needed them.
If you maximize your time at prep, you can set your goals very high with every expectation of achieving them.
Coming from a public school, I didn't have many friends at first, but they accept you here, and I've made many friends that will last a lifetime.
Prep prides itself on training the whole mind, body, and the spirit, and that allows someone to understand themselves a little better and ultimately find success in all areas.
The doors to Cathedral Prep open onto a great future. Many people are familiar with Cathedral Prep through its long-standing tradition of winning in sports. But there's a lot more to Cathedral Prep. The best way to get to know about our story is through our students, our faculty, and our alumni.
I attended a grade school that was very close to prep, and I was always very impressed with the way the prep as a school and the students presented themselves. And also we're consistently ranked highest in the area in the SAT scores, and I think a lot of that has to do with the teachers.
My philosophy on teaching is quite simple. You demand discipline, and you command respect by being fair. Prep students are expected to be responsible gentlemen.
I think that the discipline's necessary because it kind of creates an atmosphere. It makes learning a lot easier and makes good things happen. So the discipline's necessary, but we do still have a lot of fun here at Prep.
What I really like about Mr. Clancy is that he worked in the chemical industry for so many years, and he's always telling stories that relate these experiences to what we're learning in class.
Whether it's academics or athletics, Prep is a very competitive environment. And I think if you do not expect very much from the students, you will not receive very much. So we try to demand a good performance from each student in every area.
The teachers here make you work extremely hard, but I think that's a good thing, because in college I'll be expected to work even harder, and therefore Prep will prepare me for my next step.
Students here at Cathedral Prep have a very good opportunity of getting a head start up on college.
One of the things that sets Prep apart is the Gannon Scholar Program. This allows seniors at Prep to attend morning classes on Gannon's campus. We're able to experience college classes and how they're different from high school, and we can also use these credits once we attend college next year.
I was a regular student who took honors classes and advanced placement courses at Gannon University because my teachers challenged me to, and because Mrs. Mullen made me. It was hard then, but I'm glad that I did it now. At Prep, I learned how to use my talents.
There may be many families who think that they cannot afford a prep education. What they may not realize is that there's various forms of tuition assistance available. We will work with each and every family to make sure that they can send their son to prep and make his prep education a reality.
Spirituality is the cornerstone of education at Cathedral Prep.
Up through my 9th grade of schooling, I went through public schools. I made the decision to transfer to Prep in my 10th grade year, and my years at Prep brought out a spirituality in me that was dormant and I don't think would have come out at a public school setting.
As a non-Catholic, my experience here has been great. I am Baptist, and the teachers have adapted to my background and style.
Spiritual training at Prep helps to instill solid values on all of its students, and understanding how to be helpful, kind, and respectful to all people is very common to all religions.
The community service program extends the ability of the individual student to take what he learns in the classroom and to put it into practice in his own community.
Community service is part of the curriculum here. I've not only worked with local church youth groups, but I've also been on mission trips to Texas and New York City.
Those experiences were life-changing experiences for me. They really taught me how to give back to the community.
I think the major values of participation in athletics here at Cathedral Prep, it enables the student athlete to work with one another as students, also with coaches, and that gives them an indication of what they're going to see in latter-day life, not only in college, but more importantly in the professional world, being able to work with others, and I think it's an experience really that for them will prove invaluable.
Everyone is into the teams and how they're doing. It brings us all together as a school and even as a community.
It's a real winning tradition that we are proud of here.
At our prep rallies, some of the students sometimes dress up as some of the teachers and have a little fun at their expense, and teachers get a kick out of it as well as the students.
Intramural program here at Prep is really good for students who don't have the time it takes to devote to playing a varsity sport.
It gives me a chance to stay in shape while hanging out with friends in a less competitive atmosphere, which means it's more fun.
Extracurricular activities expose us to things impossible to learn in a classroom setting.
I'm editor of the Rambler, our school paper. I'm also on the rally crew, I'm in debate and forensics, and I'm in the Prep Players, the drama club. And all these activities really give more real-world application to what I learned in the classroom.
The Prep debate team competes on a national level. This year alone, we've been to cities such as Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, even Boston.
Prep's like a big brotherhood. We all help out one another and pick each other up if we fall.
I would say a large part of my business is done with Prep alumni. It's a tremendous feeling and a great advantage to walk into a sales presentation and meet a fellow Rambler.
I'm always proud when I put on my class ring and people recognize it. They realize what a great institution Prep is, but they also realize the great people it has produced.
The friends that you make here will be with you always. They'll be at your wedding, they'll be at the baptism of your children. You'll see them in the stands 20 years from now at a football game, cheering the team on and still bleeding orange and black.
Many times, students have returned back to visit, and they said thank you for all the hard work I made them do in class, because now in college they are successful.
I have three brothers that went through the public school, and there's no doubt in my mind they envy the relationship that I have with my classmates and the Prep community at large.
I attended St. Peter's grade school, and I still come in contact with a lot of the students. And each time they ask me, do you really like Prep? And I tell them every time that attending Prep was easily the best choice of my life.
In an age of cell phones, the internet, and electronic mail, there is still one universal means of communicating with the masses. A quick flick of a lever lets the world know without question, this is the path you are taking. A simple yet unmistakable sign that says, hey mister, I'm turning left. Cunningham Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Edinburgh and Northeast. Yep, turn signals.
Birdie leading the rush, cross ice pass to Courtney. Here's Courtney, his shot, score! The Erie Otters are the 2002 OHL champions!
When you're looking for a retirement center that specializes in comfort and personal care, look to the Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center.
We have a great number of private rooms that are just beautiful here.
Sarah Reed has exceptional retirement living, personal care, and nursing home care programs.
There's no place else I would rather be.
Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center. Our family caring for your family since 1871.
The real world can be complicated, fast-paced, and full of obstacles. How do you see your life coming together? Success requires direction and goals. A promising career is a necessary step to reach the highest plane. And to help guide you there is CamTech. With certificates and associate degrees in various technologies, CamTech will help piece together your career. CamTech, charting your course to tomorrow's technology.
And welcome back. We're here live at Veterans Stadium. I'm Brooke Busink, and with me right now is Joanne Mullen, who is Cathedral Prep's high school principal. Now, Joanne, you're going to be having a very important open house coming up this November 17th. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what's going to be featured there?
Yes, I would. This is our big event of the year, which introduces to the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders all of the aspects of prep, academically, athletically, and all of our clubs. It's being held on the 17th of November, and this year we have a change in format. We are having open house from 5 in the evening until 7:30. Before this, it's always been in the afternoon, so we're going to try something different. And we're having an evening to tie in with our theme this year of Light Your Way to the Future, Come to Prep. And so we'll have many lights focusing on all the aspects of prep. We're going to begin the evening about 4:15 with a Mass in the Cathedral for any of the families that would like to wait until later to go to Mass. Open house will begin in school at 5 o'clock. There will be parents, alum, and students giving tours of the school. Taking them over into the science wing where teachers and students will be doing experiments. We'll be featuring our band and our chorus. Also our resident artist, Mr. Jim Sable, who is very renowned in the Erie area and also surrounding. He will be featured. And we'll have all teachers on hand. Coaches of the sports will be there. Right now, of course, Coach Mishler is front and center with his football. However, our soccer team is doing very well. They're on their way. And our golf team is also doing very well. Right now, we have 4 of them tied for first place in Metro qualifiers. So they're doing quite well. And also, I think we are the only school whose cafeteria is used to help recruit students. We have Frank Cirillo, who is a former chef at Fergie's, and he is our cafeteria manager, and he will be serving dinner to the parents and their sons throughout the evening. So, you know, it's going to be a great evening. You can start out with Mass, see all that prep has to offer, and even get a sample of the food that their sons will be eating when they come to prep.
That sounds absolutely great and very, very exciting. And right now we're going to send it back up to Steve Bowen and for the start of the 3rd quarter. Steve?
Thanks, Brooke. All that talk about the food. We should have gone out at halftime. We didn't.
I know where I'm going to head. I don't have any kids. I'm still going to head to the open house just for the food.
Let me know if you pull that off.
All right. Just grab a nephew or a niece or a cousin or something and take them on over. Ramblers with a 13-6 lead as we begin half number 2. Taking the kick out to close to the 40-yard line was Aaron Baraducci. Close to the 35-yard line, I should say, as the Ramblers will set up shop there with a touchdown lead.
Tackles for the Ramblers, 76 Jason Sanita and 79 Brian Bixby. The guards, Carl Yaney, 71, Justin Sanita, 73, Dan Vitale, 53. The center, the tight end, 34 Bob Reisenweber. The wideouts, 18 Mike Barnes, 8 Tom Dance, fullback 30 Matt Staub, tailback to start the second half is 24 Donald Brown, and the quarterback 11 Barry Roach.
And this time Roach will hand it off to Buckner, and Buckner, after trying to slip a couple of tackles, is going to be dropped. Vogel, the main man on the stop for the Tigers, along with Brenton White.
That was 28, not 24. But the play that time was made by 50 Hurley. He blasted through, caught Buckner by the ankle, forced him to turn it inside, then outside. He forced him to stop, basically. His mates came in, made the tackle.
He lost a yard on that play, so 2nd and 11. This time, play fake. Roach going to the air, and it's intercepted by Vogel. And Vogel's got only Roach to beat, and he gets past Roach, but he's not going to get into the end zone. Wow. Potentially 6 the other way, but regardless, the Tigers set up at about the 11-yard line of Cathedral Prep, and a chance to get themselves even in this one.
We'll take a look on the Meadowbrook replay. Woody Hayes is probably rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, what are the bad things happening
Yeah, I mean, that's a great play that time by Vogel, and I thought a really good play fake by the Ramblers, and that's Vogel making a great play. I don't know, Mark. They've had tremendous success running the football. I'm not so sure that deep in your own territory you pass it. Quick hitter to Cullen.
And that'll get him inside the 10-yard line, pickup of 2 or 3.
Be interesting to see if it does get to be a 4th down in here, what Paul Fitzpatrick will call. The 2 times they've attempted kicks, they've both been blocked.
And yeah, at this point, down by a touchdown, you have to wonder how many more opportunities inside the 15 are we going to get? It's a big hit, and it's a big hit when the crowd makes a noise like they just saw a fireworks display go off.
Matt Hauser, too bad there isn't sound on the replays because you'd hear oof right about here. Oh boy, that's as good a tackle as you're going to see. And give Vogel credit for getting up after that.
Yeah. Actually lost about a yard. So 3rd down and 10, and here's Vogel right up the middle, down to about the 5-yard line.
A different look again with both Vogel and Ralabate in the backfield. Vogel set up as the up back, and now it is 4th down. 4th and 5, the ball on the 6. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of question here in Paul Fitzpatrick's mind.
Yes, there is that possibility of the 1st down, but there's not much room for that. They're going to pretty much have to get it into the end zone as we'll send Higgins and Brancato out wide and looking to throw out that way and tackled very close to the goal line. Let's see if they're going to have the 1st down.
I don't think so. Not by the spot. Not as we see it right there. Nope, not even close. I mean, they're going to call for the measurement mark, but unless my eyes have gotten completely bad.
Yeah, and you can see it, our camera's right on the spot there, basically, and they will measure.
It's a good play call, but
yeah,
boy, what an outstanding play by Aaron Baradusi. That's a great play by Baradusi.
It almost looked when he's at the point he caught that ball, he was close enough to to just kind of dive or lean into the end zone. But Baradusi said no, and you called it. They did not pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, a couple of really good defensive plays in that drive that helped stem some of the tide. And now I'd be really surprised, Mark, if we see Prep throw the football until they get maybe out to their own 40-yard line. For a couple of reasons. First of all, it's even more dangerous throwing it down here. But secondly, they've been having great success running the football.
Yeah, there's no reason to, especially this deep in your own territory, to do anything other than just basically go straight forward behind that solid offensive line. Buckner, the deep back end, he will get the carry in. He's out across the 10 to the 15 and finally stopped at about the 17 or 18-yard line, and that was the formula that worked for the Ramblers in the 1st half.
Good run that time by Tyrone Buckner, too, really showing that he's developing the senses that running backs need to have. Broke it to the outside. He had 2 choices, come back inside or go out of bounds. He broke it back inside, got another couple of yards.
So 1st down out at the 18, and again, here's Buckner. This time he'll pick up a couple and a flag on the play as well.
I got a buck. Well, no, we're not allowed to bet. But if this was that 1-800-BET-THE-ROCK, I'd bet it on holding against Prep.
And there it is. The call will set the Ramblers back. They had just taken it out too close to the 20, and now they're going to be pushed back 10.
When you need expert legal advice, call attorney Robert Brabender. Let attorney Brabender serve you in the practice of criminal, personal injury, domestic, business, real estate, or estate law. For a no-obligation consultation, call the office of Robert Brabender today at 833-1400. That's 833-1400. When you need fast, reliable service for your car's radiator, come to Swedes Auto Radiator. Swedes can also service your car's air conditioning and fuel system, and they're conveniently located at 2906 French Street in Erie. Call Swedes today, 459-0640. That's 459-0640. Let Swedes Auto Radiator provide you with fast, dependable service for your car.
And the holding penalty will take Prep. Let's see, now they're discussing where they're going to spot the football, or talking about it anyway.
Well, when you go half the distance, you got to do math. you got to do both subtraction and division.
They're going to set it up right on the 10-yard line. So
okay. Sounds good to me.
That way next time it'll be easier to figure out.
Must be, yeah.
On the delay, here's Buckner breaking a tackle in the backfield across the 15, dragged down from behind. It looked like he potentially could have taken that one a lot further, but on the stop for the Tigers, I believe that was Ralabate.
Actually, that was 22, Wagner.
Oh, I'll check that.
Watch the move he puts on 71. Oh, boy. And then Wagner with a nice job of dragging him down.
So just pretty much got the penalty yardage back and sets him up now with a 2nd and 10. Again, Buckner's going to try the near side, and good work right there by Brenton White to get a hold of those legs and hang on.
Yeah, but guess who really blew that whole thing up? And it was 50 Herlihy from his linebacking position. He took on the 2 lead blockers. He knocked Staub out of the way and then locked on to the big right tackle, Brian Bixby. And it was up to Buckner to make a decision. When a running back has to take that much time, it allows people like White to come in and make the tackle. That was an outstanding play by Herlihy.
He was fun to watch on that interception, going from that defender role into the offensive lineman mode very quickly and doing both jobs quite nicely.
Yep.
Roach on the rollout. Can't make the connection with Buckner, and it'll be 4th down.
White came in untouched from the right side, the backside of Barry Roach, and while he didn't affect the play as it was taking place, he may affect the next time the Ramblers have the ball, because Barry Roach got whacked pretty good that time.
And that's Jeff Ralabate back at about his own 43-yard line, set to take this kick from Kyle Snoke. And a good kick, and 2 Tigers basically right in the same area. That was potentially a troubling play right there, as Ralabate does make the catch.
Well, and it is a troubling play because he signaled for a fair catch, but he signaled, first of all, it didn't come above the shoulder, and second, it came awfully late, which is what the prep coaching staff is arguing.
Well, there is a flag down, obviously, as we see the officials gather at about midfield.
And I think whatever they decide, one or the other sideline is gonna put up a stink about this. I got to think that you rule in favor of the receiving team, Mark, because maybe it wasn't as blatant a fair catch signal as you'd like. Still in all, you got to give the guy an opportunity to do that. And I mean, if we saw him signal it, you would have to think that someone on the field saw him signal it.
Well, Ralabate and Brenton White were both there in potential position to field that punt. And Ralabate tried to signal for a fair catch. We have a...
Oh, now that's an illegal... Oh, Fitzpatrick's going to be livid. They're going to say it was an illegal fair catch call. Oh.
Well, let's take another look here on the Meadowbrook replay. And okay.
That's a pretty clear signal, and then they call interference against Prep. I'm trying to pick out Paul Fitzpatrick. I can see him now. He's the guy with the really red face over on the sidelines.
There he is. And now another flag as the Ramblers try to get this punt away. Basically ended up being a do-over after that couple of penalties called on that play, and now this one's going to be on the Tigers, as it looks like they lined up offsides. Still, Ramblers are going to be about 4 yards short of a first down.
This has been one of the longer fourth downs one might imagine.
So again, Snoke ready to kick, this time from his own 10. Gets this one away, and Ralabate takes it at his 45, breaks across midfield, and look out, he's into open field across the 40, cuts it back to the 30, down inside the 20-yard line before he's finally brought down from behind by Aaron Baradusi. Big play for the Tigers. They trail by 6, just under 7 minutes to go, third quarter.
The real world can be complicated, fast-paced, and full of obstacles. How do you see your life coming together? Success requires direction and goals. A promising career is a necessary step to reach the highest plane. And to help guide you there is CamTech. With certificates and associate degrees in various technologies, CamTech will help piece together your career. CamTech, charting your course to tomorrow's technology.
Back at it, Vogel gets the carry on first down, and he'll maybe get a yard, if that. Let's take another look on the Meadowbrook replay of this punt.
Great block by White right there. And then some nifty running by Ralabate.
Well, certainly the Tigers have had their scoring opportunities. They've had a field goal blocked. That was, what, a 35-yarder. They've been 1st and 10 inside the 15 on an interception, and here on a nice punt return. They start in the red zone inside the 20 of the Ramblers.
They're not going away, at least not yet.
The script following, I guess, the games the past 2 years between these two teams. But the second half was basically all prep in those two games, at least the fourth quarter. We'll see how it plays out here as they go back to the air, and it's Higgins on the far side who's going to make the catch for a pickup of about 5.
Donald Brown with a big hit after Higgins made the catch and really rattled Rayshon Higgins a little bit.
3rd and 4 upcoming. We're inside 6 minutes to go here, third quarter. Tigers of Bishop Timon looking for the tying score. And here's Vogel, breaks through one tackle, and he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line and close to the 5. It'll be good enough for another set of downs for Bishop Timon.
Mark, we heard Bill Flanagan talk about the difference in size of the squads in numbers and in just physical size. First of all, the Ramblers aren't tackling too well, but I think a lot of that has to do with some really good blocking up front by that front line of Conrad, Coughlin, Conroy, Herlihy, and Labby. They're doing an outstanding job of pushing people off the football.
And they go straight up the middle, and not much there, maybe a yard for Vogel on that carry, so it's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
We talk about prep wearing down a smaller squad.
Right.
I'm not so certain that this isn't taking some oomph out of the Ramblers defense too, because I think there are only so many times you can find yourself, backed up into your own end zone.
And again, flags before the snap.
I'm guessing that's going to be too much time. Just a procedure call. That helps prep a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, just not the spot on the field where you want to be pushed back 5 yards. Take them just outside the 10. We'll see if the Ramblers can take advantage of that miscue on the part of Bishop Timon.
Still only 2nd down, but it's 2nd and goal, and you're back on the 11-yard line. And while it gives you a little bit more space to operate, I just think it slows down your momentum just a tad, and it works in the Ramblers' favor.
Looking to go to the air, and that one thrown into the ground, hit leveled by Marcus Morgan on the quarterback, Bill Snyder.
Yeah, when you say thrown into the ground, not on purpose.
Right.
It had everything to do with big number 1 coming in on a blitz, and he came in untouched, and really Snyder had no choice but to let go of the football. He let go of it just as as Morgan hit him, and I think that Morgan's momentum carried his hand down because he had a man out there. I don't think he wanted to throw it there.
Now they go to the shotgun here on 3rd and goal. Looking for Higgins, that one thrown behind him. And coverage right there by Brown.
Boy, but a nice drop by the Ramblers linebackers into coverage and really took away 2 of the 3 receivers out in the pattern that time. That was a good defensive call by the Ramblers defensive crew, and forces, I don't know if it's going to force a kick by Brancato or if they're going to go for it. Actually, they're going to call a timeout with 4:22 to play in the 3rd quarter on the Conway and O'Malley Goodyear scoreboard. The score, Cathedral Prep 13, Bishop Timon 6. Back with more here on the Image Sports Network. Stay with us.
When you're looking for a retirement center that specializes in comfort and personal care, look to the Sarah A. Reed Retirement Center.
We have a great number of private rooms that are just beautiful here.
Sarah Reed has exceptional retirement living, personal care, and nursing home care programs.
I go and come as I please, and I live here very comfortably.
Our family caring for your family since 1871.
Say, wouldn't you prefer or wouldn't you like a cold, refreshing Pepsi right now? It's the taste that more people prefer. Take the Pepsi Challenge, and another challenge is for our camera people to get a shot across the stadium way, across French Street, of a carpet craftsman. Many Erie businesses have trusted carpet craftsmen to supply their carpet and flooring, like the beautiful Bel Air and Avalon hotels, plus many offices, restaurants, and homes like yours. At Carpet Craftsman, they buy direct from the manufacturer, and that helps keep prices low. So when you're looking for a new carpeting, stop in and see what they have to offer. That's Carpet Craftsman, 27th and French across from Veterans Stadium.
Big 4th down. Beal back in there, quarterback from the shotgun, looking for a man in the corner of the end zone. That is incomplete. Intended for Brancato on the far side, or rather the near side of the field, and that will give the ball back to the Ramblers. So, again, a missed opportunity for Bishop Timon.
Boy, and opportunity has been the catchword for Bishop Timon all game long. They've really given prep fits, and they've capitalized on mistakes. It'll be interesting to see tomorrow night on the Image Sports Network if another team that capitalizes on mistakes, the Girard Yellow Jackets, can handle the Corey Beavers. 7 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:30 with the kickoff from Girard Stadium here on the Image Sports Network.
And on 1st down, that's Hirsch going to carry it out across the 20-yard line. Good, strong running by the senior, John Hirsch.
What we've seen, Mark, on each possession, we'll see right here, well blocked at the point of attack, and Hirsch showing really no rustiness from that appendectomy. We've seen a running back per series for the Ramblers, and I think this is an important time for them to have John Hirsch in there. He is really their most experienced player. He needs, I think, as many reps as anybody else. He's a hard runner, high stepper, brings a lot of speed. He makes them a different football team, I think, in the rotation. If all they had was Hirsch,
right,
it would be a different story.
Sure.
But you've got Brown, who's a little smaller, Baraducci, who's kind of the scat back, Buckner, who's got the speed, and Hirsch kind of combines all of those. So it really rounds out that running back core.
Hirsch picked up 5 on 1st down, 4 rather, called 2nd and 6. They're going to run it straight ahead again, and won't get the 1st down, but we'll get them fairly close to that 1st down marker.
That's one of those Darryl Moose Johnson carries for Matt Staub. He gets about 1 or 2 a game, and deservedly so for all the work that he does. But the other thing that it does is everyone's used to Staub just, barreling into people, and they don't expect him to have the football. They picked up 5 yards.
Leaving with 3rd and 2. Nice defensive play right there by Timon as Hirsch was hit in the backfield, and your guy Hurley, he was the man who hit him.
I was going to guess. I was going to say, you want to guess the number? Yeah, it most definitely was Hurley. You know, we'll see on the Meadowbrook replay. Great penetration. There was another player in there also. That's 55. That's Bill Conroy, who is playing some linebacker. Snoke back to kick.
Bishop Timon will not go away. And that snap goes over the head of the kicker, Roach, and he's going to get one away, and not really. But now it's loose on the field, and let's see what's going to happen. It's recovered by Cathedral Prep, but well, that one just did not look good at all. It's Roach had some trouble getting rid of it. Then it goes away. It's touched by Bishop Timon, and Prep recovers it, and they're going to call it. That's going to be first down for the Ramblers. 2:04 to go here in quarter number 3. Let's take another look at it on the Meadowbrook replay. High snap. Snoke never had a chance to get it. Right here, he's thinking just get this one away, and I'm not sure who that was. That's 51 for the Tigers, Gary Coughlin, who had that one basically kicked right at him while he was on the ground.
I think Coach Fitzpatrick is saying that if the ball doesn't go past the line of scrimmage, it doesn't count. It's still going to be Bishop Timon's football, and yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's the correct call. Yeah. Yep.
Some scattered boos from the crowd, but I think most people kind of realize that's what happened right there.
Well, and if you're Mike Mishler, you have to argue it to make it look good. I think he understands. You know, this is going to be one of those where he's probably going to be more miffed at his team's performance. Let's see it again on the Meadowbrook replay. Yeah, there wasn't a change of possession, and if the ball doesn't go past the line of scrimmage, then you know, and actually once it goes over Snoke's head, I think it's officially a live ball, and thus it has to go past the line of scrimmage in order to count as a muff and the turnover back to Prep.
So another opportunity for Bishop Timon. They'll start off at the Prep 20, going to give it to Vogel straight ahead, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. This Hauser on the stop for the Ramblers.
Jesse Belcastro on the bottom, 67. Yeah, this has been one of those games, and I know everybody's talked about Timon kind of having Prep's number. After a time mark, I don't think that washes anymore. I think Prep needs to put a hammer down on this team, and if they want a convincing win, if they want to gain anything out of this win other than going to 3-2,
right,
they need to stop them here, and I think they need to score on the next possession. They need to make it a 2-touchdown game. If they don't, then I don't think it's a game that anybody feels comfortable with.
Well, Ralabate put that one on the turf on second down, so loss of some yardage, and it's going to bring them a 3rd and 11, and now we've got some contact before the snap of the ball.
It's going to be procedure. Or no, I'm sorry, it's going to be offsides.
So call it 3rd and 6 now. And we've seen Timon obviously in 4-down territory for this 3rd quarter on a couple of occasions, and have to figure 2 more plays to try and convert here. They need to get just inside the 10-yard line for the first down. Quarterback under pressure and getting rid of that one incomplete. Snyder was being chased and really had nowhere to throw it.
Yeah, Pohl was in there. We see a Rambler down on the field. Pohl was in there with some pressure. And now it'll be interesting to see with the ball on the 16-yard line. You got to think that they've got to go for it. But as the player's being attended to, we'll take a timeout with 40 seconds to play here in quarter number 3 with the score. Cathedral Prep 13, Bishop Timon 6. Back with more on Erie's leader in live local sports coverage, the Image Sports Network. Stay with us.
leading the rush. Cross ice pass to Courtney. Here's Courtney. His shot. Score! The Erie Otters are the 2002 OHL champions.
Come into Lockwood Auto Group today and see the 2003 Dodge selection, including the #1 selling Dodge Caravan and the newly designed Dodge Neon. New models are arriving daily, so we're clearing out the remainder of our 2002 inventory with deals like this. At Lockwood Auto Group, your credit problems don't have to keep you from getting into the car you want. Our credit specialist can have you driving away in a new or late model used vehicle. Your next vehicle is waiting for you here at Lockwood Auto Group, Route 20 in Girard.
Businesses throughout the tri-state area are taking advantage of the multi-skilled, thoroughly trained workforce available to them from Career Concept Staffing Headquarters. Every industry, from labor-intensive to highly technical, should explore the bottom-line benefits they can derive from a partnership with Career Concepts. Call any of our 4 locations to find out how you, too, can enjoy a competitive edge in today's ever-changing marketplace.
Join the YMCA today and save 50% off the joiner fee.
And welcome back to Veterans Stadium. As you see, a Rambler player being attended to. I believe that's Josh Parsons, the junior linebacker, number 45. Let's check it out on the Meadowbrook replay.
Yeah, you wonder.
Oh, there. Oh, boy, there it is.
Yep.
Being landed on basically by Ian Conrad, the senior for Bishop Timon, twisting that neck around, and they have the stretcher out there, as you can see, and just hope for the best.
And certainly the precautionary measures taken will be of the highest order. Of course, the Ramblers are blessed with Paul Estes as their athletic trainer, one of the better guys around, and certainly they're taking every precaution. We mentioned this, the first of 3 this weekend on the Image Sports Network. We'll tell you that tomorrow night we're at Girard High School as the Corey Beavers make the trip up Route 6, and geez, then I don't know how they get to Girard.
Come on, you do.
Yes, actually I do, but it'll be Corey at Girard. A big game for the Yellow Jackets. They've won their last 2, and they won them in convincing fashion. A lot of people were saying, gee, what about Girard? They lost both of their first 2 quarterbacks in the first game.
Rough start.
And overtime loss to Northwestern. Then they lost their second game, another close game. Now they bounce back with 2 straight wins, including a shocker, 14-12 this past Friday against Fort LaBeouf. So that puts them 2-2 in the Double-A chase, and they're only a game behind Northwestern now, who lost on this past Friday. So big game for the Yellow Jackets. Corey still trying to find their way under a first-year head coach. Then on Saturday we are at Tulio Field on the campus of Mercyhurst College as the Mercyhurst Lakers entertain the Northwood Timberwolves. Mercyhurst has taken their lumps. They've been up and down this season, but I think they're going to like playing Northwood at home. Both of these teams have a common opponent. Unfortunately, it's Saginaw Valley State, and they've both really had their helmets and shoulder pads and cups handed to them, honestly. There's no other way to put it. But that's expected. Saginaw Valley State ranked 3rd in the country in the latest Division II poll. This should be a game that I think Marty Schetzel's crew can establish what they want to do and really kind of set the tone for not only the rest of this season, but I think give people an idea of what a Marty Schetzel program is going to look like.
And certainly it's, that's, I would imagine, a lot of what this first year for a new head coach is all about, establishing yourself. And we'll see if we can get a win for the Lakers up at Tulio Field on Saturday. That should be a fun one, and again, it'll start at 1:30. We will take a quick timeout as they continue to attend to Josh Parsons. You're watching high school football on the Image Sports Network.
Businesses throughout the tri-state area are taking advantage of the multi-skilled, thoroughly trained workforce available to them from Career Concept Staffing Headquarters. Every industry, from labor-intensive to highly technical, should explore the bottom-line benefits they can derive from a partnership with Career Concepts. Call any of our 4 locations to find out how you, too, can enjoy a competitive edge in today's ever-changing marketplace.
Hello, I'm Francis V. Klecker. From its humble beginnings in the basement of St. Peter's Cathedral in 1921, Cathedral Prep began as a 4-room school with just 100 students. Today, Cathedral Prep is a modern facility that is well known for its academic as well as its athletic excellence. All of us at the Klecker Funeral Home are proud of our long-standing relationship with Cathedral Prep.
It's what's inside that counts. Inside the jelly jar, that is. Inside the jelly jar is more than just a toy store. It's a collection of the very best games, toys, books, and more, geared to foster a child's creativity and imagination. Great toys like Thomas the Tank Engine, Playmobil, and K'NEX. Collectible dolls by Susan Joaquin, Gotts, and Pauline. And of course, dolls for playtime, such as Madeline. Inside the jelly jar, fun and games, and so much more.
Come into Lockwood Auto Group today and see the 2003 Dodge selection, including the #1 selling Dodge Caravan and the newly designed Dodge Neon. New models are arriving daily, so we're clearing out the remainder of our 2002 inventory with deals like this. At Lockwood Auto Group, your credit problems don't have to keep you from getting into the car you want. Our credit specialist can have you driving away in a new or late model used vehicle. Your next vehicle is waiting for you here at Lockwood Auto Group, Route 20 in Girard.
At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. From the moment Dave Raz meets you with your personal estimate, thanks Dave, to the professional repair work with genuine factory parts, to the final okay that your car is ready to go home. At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. See Dave Raz at Raz Auto Body, 2516 Pittsburgh Avenue, the people's choice in collision repair.
Here's another reminder, Cathedral Prep's open house will be Sunday, November 17th. It'll run from 5 until 7:30 p.m. and, as we understand, includes dinner. For more information, call 453-PREP, that's 453-PREP, or you can log on to their website at www.cathedral-prep.com. When you need expert legal advice, call attorney Robert Brabender. Let attorney Brabender serve you in the practice of criminal, personal injury, domestic, business, real estate, or estate law. For a no-obligation consultation, call the office of Robert Brabender today, 833-1400. That's 833-1400. By word of mouth, we've all heard it. It's one of the best forms of advertising. Advice from friends and neighbors on who to see when you're looking for a new air conditioner or furnace seems more reliable than a company telling you that they are the best. One customer of Keep Heating and Cooling puts it this way: the Keep salesman clearly explained the Rheem's features, gave me a competitive bid, and closed the deal. We got next day installation by 2 competent, uniformed Keep technicians. Keep Heating and Cooling, featuring Rheem air conditioning and natural gas furnaces. Remember, natural gas, your most energy efficient source. When you need fast, reliable service for your car's radiator, come to Swedes Auto Radiator. Swedes can also service your car's air conditioning and fuel system, and they're conveniently located at 2906 French Street in Erie. Call Swedes today, 459-0640. Let Swedes Auto Radiator provide you with fast, dependable service. And we see the medical crew taking Josh Parsons out on the stretcher. Was a long time, Mark, and as we saw in the replay, just through game action, The big offensive tackle fell on Parsons' head, and that caused the problem, and certainly our prayers and wishes for the best for Josh Parsons and his family.
Yeah, always tough to see a player go out on a stretcher on the board like that, but we saw it a while back at Gannon, and that injury turned out to be minor, and we'll hope for the same here. Back at it here on a 4th down situation for Bishop Timon, and that pass is going to be deflected at the line and will fall incomplete, so the Ramblers will take over on downs.
Big play by David Edwards that time. I was sitting here thinking as we were going through all of that waiting that some people might have thought that having that much time to figure out what you're going to do on 4th and 6 would be to Paul Fitzpatrick's benefit. I have the distinct feeling that he would have wanted to go right away. Right. That he had a rhythm going in his play calling, and so too did his team. I'm not so sure that long of a wait benefited his club.
So Prep now with the ball. Here's Buckner on 1st down, up across the 20, across the 25-yard line, and finally brought down close to a 1st down. That was Brancato helping out to bring him down.
We heard good things and were shown good things about Herlihy, Fran Herlihy, number 50, but boy howdy, Ryan Brancato has been outstanding defensively from his defensive back position tonight. He's been in on every big play that Herlihy hasn't.
They will move the chains just enough for the 1st down without measuring. So at the 26, a new set of downs for the Ramblers. They are up 7. We're winding it down here. This, if it stays on the ground, would be the final play of the quarter, and it will stay on the ground as Buckner is dropped in the backfield, and there's Mr. Herlihy.
Wow. I don't know as we've seen this dominant a defensive player, but Fran Herlihy has been all that and the proverbial bag of chips.
That'll do it for quarter number 3. The Ramblers up 7, coming up on 2nd down when we come back on Image Sports.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, makes you wanna holler, hidey-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, cold milk in a real cool truck. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, makes you wanna holler, hidey-ho.
Dean's Milk Chug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
The O3s are here and more are arriving by the hour here at Humes, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Dodge Truck in Waterford. And we've got some real exciting new vehicles here at Humes, like the Jeep Liberty, Grand Cherokee, and Wrangler, the restyled and refined O3 Chrysler Voyager, Town & Country, and Dodge Caravan, plus the all-new Ram 2500 and 3500 trucks with a new 345-horse 5.7-liter Hemi, plus many, many more. Whatever you want, we'll be sure to have here at Humes. Come see us today. We're only 9 miles south of the Mill Creek Mall on Peach Street in Waterford.
We're 3/4 of the way through this game. Wouldn't you like a cold, refreshing Pepsi right now? It's the taste that more people prefer. Take the Pepsi challenge. All the scoring took place in the first half. Aaron Baradusi on a 1-yard run, 7-0 Prep, 4:24 the first quarter. Bishop Timon answers back. Vogel a 20-yard pass from Snyder. The kick failed, 7-6. And then Buckner a 63-yard run. That kick failed. Prep leading, as they lead now, 13-6 at the start of the fourth quarter.
2nd and 12 as man goes in motion for the Ramblers, and they will pitch it back to Buckner. Buckner puts on a great move at the 30-yard line and gets out to the 40 before Cullen takes him out of bounds. That was pretty.
Oh, boy. If you want to see someone getting faked out of literally every piece of their equipment, here's John Vogel. Oh. and then Rob Bellotti just to be on the safe side. But Vogel, I'm sure, thought that he had Buckner dead to rights.
Takes it all the way out to the 42-yard line for a 1st down. Buckner again, straight up the middle, untouched across midfield. and all the way inside the 35-yard line. Finally brought down by Eric Thibault for Bishop Timon, but again, Buckner breaking off huge chunks of yardage.
And you can see him growing as a runner, even I think on this carry. And we don't get much of a chance to see the moves and the decision making, but Mark, once he reached about the 45-yard line, 5 yards into that run, he made a couple of very quick decisions that got him down to where he is right now, and that's part of the learning process.
So again, a first down, and again the give to Sanders. Again, big yardage up the middle, and all the way down to about the 15-yard line. So they're ripping off 15, 20 yards at a time here with Buckner.
I was going to say Freudian slip calling him Sanders there.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. Yeah. Call him
very
Tate,
very similar. Yeah, very similar type of running back to Bob Sanders. Quick to the hole, makes quick decisions, and then it's one thing to make the quick decision. It's then another thing to really act on it full speed ahead.
And this has been some impressive yardage on the ground for Prep on this possession. And why not Buckner again? And he won't pull off 10 or 15 yards, but we'll get about 7 before he's brought down.
You kind of have the feeling that in between the third and fourth quarter, the offensive line coach, Pat Seituk, notwithstanding, probably had a little talking to the big fellas up front. They are doing an outstanding job on this drive. We saw the one play for a loss by Herlihy right at the end of the third quarter. We've seen Herlihy at best be 10 to 15 yards behind every play since.
So now second down and 2 inside the time and 10. Ramblers looking to put some distance between themselves and the Tigers. This time the ball handed off to the up back. That was Matt Staub, and he'll get a couple.
75 Don Labby on the tackle. Did a nice job of staying home that time.
Will be enough, though, for a first down. So first and goal.
Wow. Sure didn't seem like it.
Just inside the 5-yard line. And we're now inside 9.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's Buckner. Give him 1, maybe 2.
Wouldn't be surprised here on second down, Mark, if we see some sort of a play involving Barry Roach, whether it's fake toss to the outside and come back around to the near side of the field, quarterback draw. Timon is reacting very well to what the deep back is doing for Prep. If they have some sort of an option or some sort of a naked bootleg, you only have 3 yards to go. It might not be a bad time to run it. Look forward to the wide side of the field if they do it, because they've only got one defensive back.
And this time they give it off to Buckner again, and nothing doing right there for Buckner as a couple of Timon defenders on the play. Sokolowski was there along with Bretton White.
Boy, and that's a judicious spot again. You know, we see it marked at the 7, and it sure looked on that replay that the hit was at least back at the 8.
Third down now for the Ramblers, and let's see what the coaching staff comes up with for a play call here. We're out at the 6 now.
They better come up with something quick. And they do. They call a timeout. So with 7:49 to play, 3rd and 6 for Prep at the Bishop Timon 6-yard line. They lead 13-6. Back with more on the Image Sports Network.
For decades now, the unsung hero of the automotive sales pitch. Yet, in its anonymity, this unassuming warrior provides years of hassle-free operation. unselfishly accommodating untold loads of groceries, luggage, sporting goods, and the occasional snowblower. Cunningham Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Edinburgh and Northeast. Yeah, we've got trunks.
Welcome back to Vet Stadium. 7:49 to go here, quarter number 4. Prep looking at a 3rd and goal from the Bishop Timon 6. Ramblers still hanging on to that 7-point lead.
We talked about Mercyhurst hosting Northwood this Saturday. The following Saturday, Saturday the 5th, we're back up at Mercyhurst as the Oilers of Findlay University come in. That's going to be a tough road to hoe for Mercyhurst. And then back at Gannon University Field on a Saturday the 12th of October as the Golden Knights entertain Tiffin. All here on Erie's home for live local sports, the Image Sports Network.
Give is to Buckner. He's headed for the corner, and he's going to get in for the touchdown.
Wow! Holy cow!
Looked like they had a chance to bottle him up in the backfield, but he just busted it outside and takes it in.
Boy, I think I want to see this again because I'm not sure I saw what I saw. Nice play by Bretton White, and then that's just a lot of speed by Tyrone Buckner because he literally stopped and then started again. Snoke on to kick, Reynolds to hold.
And that kick is up and through, so 7:42 to go, and Ramblers extend to a 20-6 lead over Buffalo Bishop Timon. Kind of a similar situation to what we've seen in the previous meetings between these two teams. Back with the final 7 minutes plus after this.
It's the 21st anniversary sale going on now at Conway and O'Malley Tire and Auto Service Centers. Save on brand name tires including Goodyear, Dunlop, Lee, and more. Plus, with the purchase of 4 selected Goodyear tires, you'll get a $50 U.S. savings bond. Choose from a wide selection of Goodyear Eagles, Wranglers, and Aquatreads. With 3 family-owned locations, come see the car care professionals today during the 21st anniversary sale at Conway and O'Malley Tire and Auto Service Centers. Plus, get your $50 savings bond in great Goodyear tires.
Yeah, and welcome back. The Ramblers with the first points of this second half. 6-yard touchdown run for Cathedral Prep. And Tyrone Buckner showing his speed. He broke off a 60-plus yarder in the first half. Finds the end zone for the second time and gives his team a 2-touchdown lead. Kickoff by Snoke, headed towards the sidelines. That's going to go out of bounds. So the flags fly, and they'll spot that ball for Bishop Timon out in some pretty decent field position.
Oh, and there's an offside against Prep. That's declined. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Timon at their own 35-yard line. I'm pretty sure, Mark, this is not the performance that Mike Mishler and the Rambler coaching staff expected. At the same time, a lot of it has to do with the way Timon has played, but Prep has had some opportunities that have not come to fruition, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot to work on next week.
First down, they will try to keep it on the ground. Vogel straight ahead for maybe 2. Yeah, I think if you're head coach Paul Fitzpatrick for Bishop Timon, you have to be thinking about a lot of missed opportunities as well. They've had some scoring opportunities, some chances deep in Prep's territory, and give the Ramblers defense the credit. They were able to stop those Timon threats.
Still with 7:15 remaining, they're down 2 scores, but I'm sure as soon as I say this, someone's going to rip off a 64-yard touchdown run. I'm not sure that they have 2 scores left in them. That they needed to score when they had it, when they had an extremely short field.
And this time it's the fullback on the carry, and it's going to be up near the first down marker right there.
That's Lindy Sokolowski, number 20. First time we've seen him offensively. We've seen him play on defense.
inches shy of that first down marker, which of course is right at the 45-yard line with the kick going out of bounds, so you can see exactly what they need to get to move the chains. They'll try the quarterback sneak, and I don't think they got it.
Ooh, watch the official coming in for the outside mark.
It's the old right foot, left foot.
And I think he's going to mark it with his left foot, and that'll be enough for a first down. Yeah, they give him, well, actually, that's as good a spot as they've made in tight situations all night. That was about the amount of yardage that Snyder got.
Yeah, he only needed a couple of inches and got about the length of the football, certainly, though, enough to keep the ball in the Tigers' hands here at their own 45-yard line, coming up on 6 minutes to go. Bishop Timon down by a couple of scores and keeping it on the ground. And that time Sokolowski a little bit upset with the way maybe Marcus Morgan finished off that tackle. But,
well, Morgan had a hold of him, but it was Hauser that finished it off. David Hauser from his middle linebacker position. And the officials doing a nice job of talking to the prep players and saying, hey, just settle down. Oh, and they're giving them the line of scrimmage. Guess so. Yeah, actually gained a yard. Yeah, there was that much push. It's just when you see someone get thrown down like that, you forget about what they got initially.
Beal wants to throw it to his back, but it's just not there, as Ralabate first had some trouble getting out of the backfield and then was covered. So it'll be 3rd and 9 with 5:15 to go.
Good coverage by John Hirsch, and one of the things besides speed that Hirsch brings to the starting cornerback position is size. He's 6'1", and traditionally the last 5 or 6 years the prep corners have been 5'8" and 5'9". At 6'1", he presents a much different problem for any quarterback, and especially Beal rolling out there. Hirsch had great coverage, and at 6'1", he really blanketed the receiver to the point where I don't know if Beal could see exactly where he was.
3rd and 9, Beal goes to the shotgun, and he's just going to be dropped. Wow, Edwards came in and lowered the boom.
Yep. That's, I believe if smash mouth is defined as smashing the other guy in the mouth, there's the poster child right there.
Beat 2 guys, it looked like, too, to get in there and make that sack. So with it 4th now and 12, they're going to send the punt team on. Brancato in to kick it away. And that low kick taken at about the 25-yard line by Baradusi, and it's out to about the 40-yard line. 4:19 to go in this one. It's the Ramblers up 20-6 on Bishop Timon.
At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. From the moment Dave Raz meets you with your personal estimate, thanks Dave, to the professional repair work with genuine factory parts, to the final okay that your car is ready to go home. At Raz Auto Body, your car and you are treated with class. See Dave Raz at Raz Auto Body, 2516 Pittsburgh Avenue, the people's choice in collision repair.
1st and 10 from the 40 for the Ramblers, trying to run out the final 4:19 on the clock in this one. And that time, Buckner may have maybe made one too many moves. He really looked like he wanted to take that one all the way. He picked up about 6 as it is.
Yeah, still picked up 6. Relabate, a nice job of covering. You know, it's kind of neat having a Thursday night game, and I think everybody involved in covering the game it likes it. We've got all the TV stations here. Our friends Mike Borman and Jim Marnello from The Fan across the way, broadcasting the game on radio. You know, you hate to say that there's nothing to do normally on a Thursday, but it seems like there's a whole lot more to do when there's a high school football game.
Well, yeah, sports-wise, there certainly isn't too much to do, especially here in September, as we see Buckner this time pushing forward to midfield, and looks like he's going to have enough to move the chains. Clock stopped It's an injured player, and that's Hurley.
Yeah.
Down for Bishop Timon.
Yeah, and he got pancaked big time by the tight end, Bob Reisenweber, number 34. It was a good, clean play as I saw it. Hurley at 6 foot. Reisenweber, a big kid, 6'4", 231. And it's about as good a block as you're going to see a tight end throw on a linebacker.
Yeah, looking at his left leg, not sure if they're looking at the knee or the ankle at this point, but really hard to tell what happened on that replay. But as you can see him on the left portion of the screen there, just down and now sitting up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how bad this is going to be. All I know is that he went from standing on 2 feet to kind of flying through the air and landing, and I'm guessing kind of awkwardly. But they are checking the left leg, and it's below the knee. Oh, okay. We from our wonderfully talented crew back in the truck, because they have nothing better to do but to watch the replay about 18 times. But they say that you can see, there it gets bent back behind him on the block by Reisenweber. So he can't put any weight on that left leg. What a great player he's been tonight, though, Mark. Just absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, he's made a couple of those the kind of plays that just jaw droppers defensively.
6'1", 200 pounds, and just you have the distinct feeling that he's a senior, but you have the distinct feeling that he's going to be playing someplace next year.
Right.
Certainly I don't think has the size to play Division I, but I got to think that there's some 2s and 3s that will take a long, hard look at Fran Hurley, because he brings it every single play.
So now the clock is started up again. 3:10 to go here in the fourth quarter.
It's replaced by 42, John Hartman.
Prep, of course, with a 2-touchdown lead, taking their time, getting up to the line of scrimmage and running this play. A give to Buckner, breaks through the first tackle try, and he'll push forward for about 4 yards.
Mark, I'm trying to see where the play clocks are, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see them. Normally they're up on top of the press box and in one of the other corners, and I don't see any play clocks. It just occurred to me, so I guess I'm kind of pleasantly surprised that there hasn't been a delay of game penalty against either team, just taking too much time.
Buckner has the first down across the 40, down to about the 33-yard line.
Oh, the old limp leg. That was an outstanding run by Tyrone Buckner, and at about the Timon 42-yard line, it was one of those lifted his leg just high enough, and he's fun to watch.
And he's just taken over this game. A couple of touchdowns. And now the Ramblers just trying to put the final touches on this win. Buckner again, this time trying to get outside. He will, out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Nice block there, pulling the center. 53, Dan Vitale. Outstanding block. By the way, Staub had a good block on that play also. But, boy, Vitale with a nice downfield block to allow Buckner to continue going outside.
First and 10 from the 15 for Prep. Bishop Timon has hung tough in this one for at least the first 3 quarters. But it looks like once again, quarter number 4 will belong to Cathedral Prep. This time the toss comes back to Buckner. A flag comes flying in as well.
And I think it's going to be a hold against Prep. There's a minute 3 to play, and Mark, I'm kind of surprised that given the situation that they don't just kneel on it. Yeah, it's a hold against the Ramblers. The one thing that you didn't want to happen was to have the clock stop. I don't think that the game is in doubt, but
right.
I think more than anything, you wanted to read triple zeros and get your keisters out of here. This has not been, I would think, by most accounts, a performance that they're going to hang on the wall for any other reason. But this is how not to play, because they really haven't played all that well.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the points they have looked great. Tyrone Buckner's has been outstanding, but overall in terms of following up on drives and finishing them up and just not making mistakes. The Ramblers have made a couple of mistakes with the football as well. So
their first possession, they looked like world beaters.
So now, with the penalty moved way back, and they'll give it on the draw to Buckner, and he'll fight forward for a couple of yards as the clock winds now. 35 seconds to go in the 4th.
And depending on what it reads when they spot this football, they're not going to have to run another play. Nope. Because it was spotted with 23 seconds to play. Honestly, Mark, if I'm a fan of Prep, I'm glad that they didn't have to run another play. You never know what can happen. Yeah. And this is the 5th game of the season, and this is a team that I still think is very much capable of making some noise, not only in District 10, but I think beyond. I really think that they have played some pretty good football. I thought that their line at times played very well offensively tonight. Defensively, they missed some tackles and they had some problems.
I mean, they're 3-2. They could play weaker teams and be 5-0 and maybe not be as well prepared come the early portions of November. But hey, you take a couple of losses, you go up against some high-powered teams, and you hope that as the season wears on, that proves to be a positive experience. And the Ramblers will take on Central next week, and it's St. Francis, then McDowell, and then State College to wrap up the regular season for Cathedral Prep.
Yeah, and those are good games for Prep. They're games that I'm sure they think that they can win. The McDowell game is going to be always a dandy just because it's Prep and McDowell. But I think one of the things that folks around here need to get used to, and if you're a new fan of Cathedral Prep, you see the success that they've had, and you say, well, geez, how could they have 2 losses? Well, because they've played 2 nationally ranked teams.
Right.
So when you upgrade the schedule, you also upgrade the opportunity of losing some games, and that doesn't mean anything. I mean, losing those games doesn't necessarily mean anything unless you didn't get anything out of it. I think losing to St. Ignatius didn't give the Ramblers anything of benefit, because they really got taken pillar to post through that whole game.
Maybe humility, that's about it.
Yeah, really. But the game against St. Ed's, everyone that you talked to, they were pleased with the way that they played. There were a couple of situations where had things gone their way, or had someone made a block or someone made a play, that's a different football game. They've won the games that they're supposed to win. They've lost the 2 games that they probably were supposed to lose so far. Learned from one of them, didn't learn anything, but as you said, humility from the other, and they'll grow and move along. And this is never a football program that's about week 5. It's about week 12, because if you get to week 12, that means that you've won the District 10 championship and you get a chance to go on.
And I think if you're head coach Fitzpatrick for Bishop Timon, you've got to be sick of this, we played them good for 3 quarters sort of scenario. But you have to give the kids on the other side of the field credit, coming in here with a lot of kids playing both ways, and certainly no shortage of heart on the time and sidelines.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point. Moral victories don't mean a darn thing after a while, and I think it was 13-6 at halftime. It was 13-6 at the end of the third quarter, and they had a fourth down play, a fourth and goal play to start the fourth quarter. You're not looking for moral victories at that point.
Right.
You're
right
looking
there.
to put it in the end zone, tie up the football game, gain some momentum. So I honestly think that he's probably a little tired of all this stuff, and we're waiting to see if we can get Prep head coach Mike Mishler, although he's in discussions right now with Paul Fitzpatrick, and certainly the stuff that they have to talk about here tonight is a whole lot more important, although they look like they're parting ways. So we'll have Coach Mishler in just a couple of minutes. Again, a reminder, tomorrow night we're at the Girard High School. Girard entertaining Corey in an Erie County League game. Saturday afternoon up at Tulio Field as Mercyhurst entertains Northwood University in a GLIAC contest. The final score here, two Tyrone Buckner touchdowns, leading Prep to the victory 20-6. And we will send it down to Doug Davis with victorious head Rambler coach Mike Mishler.
Another exciting night of high school football here in Erie. Mike Mishler, our guest, and first off, congratulations on a hard-fought football game.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I thought, at times we played okay, but, I give my hats off to Bishop Timon. I've been telling everybody they're a tough team, and somehow they have a good way of shutting us down and making our offense look a little silly at times. And so, I mean, I give them all the credit in the world.
Let's talk about the first half, 13-6 at halftime. I'm very impressed with Baraducci and Buckner, hard runners, but the offensive line did a good job.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the first drive was kind of how we were playing a little bit last week. We moved the ball right down the field, and they made some adjustments to it. We tried to loosen them up with our passing game. That wasn't clicking real well for us. So they brought 8 in the box, and you can't block 8. So you have to make some adjustments, and I think we did in the second half there by running some motion and making them move a little bit.
Well, if I had to play the number, I'd put 1, 11, and 16. Great defensive goal line stands down there. Timon came out in the third quarter and played very well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they shut us down, and at times on the offense, they got real good field position because of it, and then our defense came in and I think did a good job. And we put them in some pretty big holes tonight, and I thought they stepped up between our special teams and some of our offensive series in there in the second half. I thought we didn't really put them in a real good spot, and I thought they stepped up and did their job.
After that last goal line stand, then you had that nice drive at the end. Let's talk about that touchdown.
They're talking about the one in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we were telling them, the guys, we need to get one more to kind of get this thing over with. And again, things weren't going our way in the third quarter, but we put together, I think, a good drive with Buckner in there. And like I said, we mixed it up, putting some motion in, trying to get them a little bit off balance, and trying to take away some of their hard blitzing. And I think it worked. So.
Well, congratulations on the nice victory. I know it's back to the blackboard. You're getting ready for the Metro League and also the District 10.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks. That's the story from here. Now upstairs to Steve Bowen.
I think we pretty much described Mike Mishler's frame of mind. He's glad to get it over. A win is a win is a win, and they got a lot to work on.
Yeah, he says Timon made him look silly at times, which wasn't the word that came to mind for us, but I think it fits.
Yeah, but certainly the big factor is that they did win. They keep their momentum going. That's 2 in a row, and I think that I still believe that from the start of the season, this was a team that was going to get better each week, and they may have regressed just a little bit, but as Mike Mishler said, that had a lot to do with the opponents. We'll see if they can get back into the mode of of controlling games by controlling tempo and beating people at the line of scrimmage.
And we'll be back at it tomorrow night, Erie County League football, as Corey visits Girard. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock, kickoff of that ECL contest, 7:30. For Steve Bowe and Doug Davis and the rest of the Image Sports crew, I'm Mark Soliday. The final score tonight, Prep 20, Bishop Timon 6.